Those are the first words of the stream. So, hello, everyone. We are
Hello
live
there.
with another session of Bookbusters, Misadventures in Candlekeep. We are tentatively calling this session 2.5 because it isn't actually covering a full adventure. This is a Candlekeep equivalent of a shopping downtime session. The players have asked for some time to get to speak to each other, to get to explore Candlekeep, explore each other, just honour each other's pleasure. No, that's another sort of session. Just generally hanging out. So that's what we're going to go with. So we have everybody here. I have no idea how long this session will take, because obviously all the other ones I have an idea of the full session. So we might be here for 1 hour, we might be here for 3, you never know. But say hello, everybody, so I can do a sound check.
Hello there.
Hello.
Excellent.
Hi.
I'm still here. All right.
Yeah, the mad cartographer is getting a very bad echo, he types in chat, but probably because he's also sat 5 feet away from me. Say hello, mad cartographer.
Hello, my cartographer!
There we go.
Thank you, Mad Photographer.
He's sorting up a build of his new computer across the room. So, where is our splash? As you will all know, we have been in Candlekeep so far. You'll remember that in session 1 and in over session 0 I told you that the mini campaign would take place entirely in this tower and that you would never leave that tower and see the surrounding town. And it took all of a session to break that. And last session, we had a lot of gallivanting around the town and under the town of Candlekeep itself. It's been a few days since those events. You are all back in Candlekeep for now. Does anyone want to share? I know some of you have messaged me. Obviously, and you've all leveled up again since the last session. Do any of you want to share what your characters would have been up to since the last session? They've been focusing their studies or their time on anything in particular. It's basically a chance for you to share what you've DM'd to me if you'd like to.
Alright, I can give a quick go. So, last session, Tim received an Amulet of Health, and he has been studiously and ardently working on attempting to split the beneficial effects of it into something that can be applied to the whole party. It hasn't been going particularly well. Tim is, despite being a caster of magic of many types, is not that great at working with it, so it's been mostly touch and go.
Okay. So that the work is ongoing there. Anything else that anybody else wants to share that they've been up to?
Nikki, or Jicha, do you want to go? Okay.
No, I'm okay. You go.
All right. For Valley, they've been more or less continuing on as usual, going for their regular runs, and they've been getting fast regularly. Though one thing they notice, and they're happy to show off recently, is that for brief moments they can understand any language. They just somehow manifested some ability to speak and comprehend languages, which is a rather new feature that they didn't even know they could do, considering they're not a practitioner of magic at all, like Tim. But, well, got that infernal heritage in some way, so that looks like it's paying off some minor dividends.
Okay.
And for the past few days, they've probably just been like trying to read those books that have been in other languages that they've collected, borrowed. acquired.
The last encounter of this campaign is going to be like all the library staff turning up with like their enforcement squad for Valley.
They can't catch me. I'll have high movement speed.
Okay.
I'll just outrun them forever.
Okay, and Precious, you got something?
Yeah, I guess her friends would have noticed a slight change in Precious, particularly her demeanor, but also the decor in her room. Her room used to be filled with musical instruments, and most of them are now gone. And instead, there are quite a few new books and notebooks and stacks of papers, which is quite uncharacteristical of her. She was never really bookworm. But that's something that you've noticed has taken place in the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
Okay, and I can share about Riley that she's been very much interested in herbology as of late. And she also has been hanging out with the griffins. And you would probably know that she's very excited about the egg growing steadily warmer. She's very excited about it hatching eventually.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm trying to think, what was the... Did we give a name to the herb you got from the Amberjune supplies? The Amberjune bookstore?
I just put it in as a leaf, so I don't think so.
I'll give that a proper name, and we'll work out what it's going to do. It may possibly be a controlled substance and legal in Candlekeep. We'll find out what it is. Oh, great. We will pick up then. Oh, yes. Go on, Tim.
I actually did just want to interject one last little bit that Tim, unlike the rest of you, doesn't seem to have changed much or done anything new. He's like the 43-year-old father in Midwest America who's worn the same pair of shorts for the last 20 years. But, rather unbeknownst to him, in his attempt to split the Amulet of Health, he's actually memorized and pored over so many scriptures and texts that he has rather unknowingly come into possession of higher levels of magical knowledge and spell work.
Tim is old at heart and young at body. If we can find a ghost soon, Tim will be in sync.
Just let a spirit take over the body. He's not doing nothing with it. But yeah. That's all Tim's really been up to in these last few days.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That brings everybody up to speed, and we will therefore pick up with the start of another day.
Ah, good old Amberjune.
So, each of you wakes, or you don't, and it's a very short session, in your quarters. If you'd like to be adjusted, Varley, I'm happy to.
All's well.
Your rooms are all either as you left. Oh, look at that! You can't see it, but Precious has gone and applied the sleep condition to herself. Fantastic. Let's start with Tim. You can all hear a light rain outside today.
Alright, so at this moment, Tim is actually softly cursing himself because back when they chose rooms, he decided, he'd like the lower one, he'd like the more secluded one, more time to himself, more time to read books, but he forgot about windows, and his room is rather bereft of any. So he rather reluctantly gets dressed and ventures out to go read and look at the rain, which has always been a rather enjoyable activity of his. Oh, hello, Riley.
Hi. Good
How-
morning.
Oh, is it morning? I usually don't wake up this early.
I don't actually know what time it is.
I'm going to assume morning, so I can pretend to be a productive member of Candlekeep Society. Would you care to join me for brunch?
Sure. I will make sure to pack my lamp.
Your lamp?
Yes, my lamp. You know that Riley has been quite attached to the lamp and has been seen on several occasions just clutching it and going around with it.
Every time she does, Tim eyes her with a mixture of curiosity and concern, but one that he doesn't think Riley can see, judging by, the height difference. As he gives a short nod before stepping out into the kitchen and fixing himself a meal which could only really be described as a meal in the roughest terms. He's basically slapping ingredients together and calling it a day.
So fajitas.
It'd probably just be like a couple pieces of bread, maybe like some meat if he could find it. Otherwise, like a piece of lettuce. He's content with a lettuce sandwich.
I was going to say, I really thought you weren't going to use the word sandwich at some point. I was going to make you do like a nature check, like a medicine check. Like, this is referred to as a sandwich. Okay. I think perhaps Varley would wake next.
That'd probably be correct. They groan because they're in the boring room at the moment, but they stayed up late and they didn't have an excuse to slip over to their other room. Roll off the bed, give a little ouch as they bang their horns on the ground, and head out. And I keep accidentally pinging. And they will join the others in the kitchen. Morning, Tim. Morning, Riley. How are you two doing?
Morning.
Morning. Yes, it is morning, right? I can't really tell. The sky's so overcast. As Tim leans back out of his chair, the crunch of lettuce bursting forth from his lips as he glances out the window.
Valley looks at their wrist where there's no watch. Yeah, it seems probably morning.
Yeah, I'll go with that. How did you sleep?
Continuously, mostly, I think. Anyway,
Is that good?
yes.
I'm assuming. Yeah. Okay. Great. You want to join me for a
Just-
lettuce sandwich?
Just had these awful dreams of the entire staff of the Candlekeep chasing me for some reason, saying something about overdue fees and library books, but that's ridiculous.
I wonder
I'd return I'd return the books, and if they were chasing me, I'd probably be able to outrun them. So it's a silly dream.
Definitely.
Valley's going root
Um,
through the kitchen.
Did you have any book dreams, Riley?
Not
like this-
really.
Oh, this wasn't a
didn't-
book dream. Sorry to mislead. It's more of a crime dream. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say if it's bothering you in your dreams, maybe you can do something about it in reality. as Tim raises his shoulders in a motion to shrug.
I mean, there's no problem. I don't have any overdue books.
Are you making a deception check?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, that was about as convincing as it sounded.
Yeah, if Riley and Tim can both make me a history check. DC 8.
I like history.
You are both very aware that in various libraries around, portions of library around Candlekeep, you have seen notices that are only one step away from being a wanted poster for Varley when it comes to them returning their books. This is a lie.
Riley giggles and tries to pass it off as a cough.
Tim blinks a few times as he stares at Volley's back, and he says, you sure about that?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I mean, we all know where the books are, so there's no problem, right?
You know, you could just give them back, right?
I'm gonna read them, but I'll read them eventually. And if
wait, you had books that you haven't read yet?
They're on the list.
I just kind of pick them up and go.
So do I, for the most part. But sometimes you pick up more than you can go at once. You know. Like you're just going through these shelves and you see, ooh, this looks interesting, and this looks interesting, and this looks interesting, and before you know it, there's like 8 books in your arms, and you check them all out, and then you go finish one, and you go to return one, and then as you're returning one, you pass by the shelves, and you're like, oh, hey, look, it's another book, and it's a spiral, you know? Kind of like that. It's all totally innocent and above the board. Really?
Tim looks at you with the blank stare of a man who can read a book in like 5 minutes and is entirely unfamiliar with your hoarder-like concept of the literary word.
Valley stares blankly back with the look of someone who is
Crash.
totally unaware of how to read every book in one's list.
You hear a scrape and a smash, and a door flings open, and a very dishevelled, panic-looking Duvald comes out of his quarters, and at a stride that's near enough like a panicked jog comes by. He's like, oh, sorry, morning. I'm running late. I'm meant to be getting to conjuration lesson. Morning, Tim. Morning, Riley. Morning, Valley. Morning, Precious. And just
Morning.
heads off, and you rapidly hear his feet heading down the stairs, and he is gone in a matter of seconds.
You know, that makes me think.
Well, that's
go
that's a good
Something broke.
reason to change subject.
Yes.
City is like a conjuration class.
Maybe he can conjure these missing books.
Maybe he could conjure himself being on
I
time.
thought you knew where the books were.
I mean, I know where they are. They're just over. Valley's just about to point in a direction and then immediately just like points back at the cupboard in a really exaggerated motion. They're right over elsewhere, but here's a T over here. Yes. T, anyone?
So I'm just gonna drop the subject and ask if anyone else would like the rest of my lettuce sandwich. This one is getting kind of dry.
No.
No takers? I got it. Lettuce isn't for everyone.
Morning, Smell.
Hi, Smeeple. How are you?
Smeeble, hearing lettuce, just comes out and walks around to you where you're sort of holding this sandwich, offering it, sort of proffering it out to everybody, and he just, without saying a word, just comes out and gestures for the sandwich.
Tim holds out the plate, his hand shaking so much that it looks like the sandwich might just fall off the surface.
And he reaches out and just takes the top slice of bread off, flops it down onto the counter next to you, takes the single piece of lettuce, rolls it up and pops it into his mouth, gives you a nod. Thank you. And just totters back into his room, leaving you with 2 sorry, stale pieces of bread.
But,
That's interesting.
oh, is he gone? Tim says, his eyes firmly shut tight.
Yes? I mean, he's right there. Hey, Smeeble, do you want any more lettuce, if there's any in the cupboards?
Best not to overdo it. No, thank you. Maybe
Okay.
later.
Well, help yourself. Have a great day.
I just don't understand what he is.
The door is
I'm a
open.
goblin!
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what goblins are?
Well, kind of, but goblins don't have mushroom heads.
It's a hat.
A hat.
Definitely not a hat.
He took it off for you last time, remember?
Oh, Tim remembers. He thinks it was an illusion. He thinks it was fake. It was a trick. As Tim stares a bit sorrowfully at his 2 slices of stale bread before gently taking another dry bite of the wheat and going, just thinking to himself, this is how I wanted my morning to start. Mm-hmm. Hey guys. Oh, sorry, what was that?
Oh, Valley just said, hello again, Smeeple.
Where's your friend?
Yeah, I was actually just about to say, shouldn't we go wake up Precious?
Lazy day, lazy day.
I will find out what you are.
Riley, do you think we need to get some help for Tim if he can't remember what goblins are?
I think so. We could go to the library, get him a book or something.
Yeah, maybe a big book on Grumsh.
I am right here,
Have you heard of Grumsh, Tim?
Yes, I know what goblins are. I just don't think he is one. Anyway, I think we should go wake Precious. Get everyone here, you know?
Yeah, maybe she can explain to Tim that goblins can wear hats.
It's a mushroom. It's not a... It's... What I... No. I've tried to convince too many people of this. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, that's settled. I'm gonna go down to the town and I will find a mushroom hat just for you.
Oh, if you find a weird hat, can you find one for me, too?
Definitely.
Oh. Well, first,
The
why don't
happier
we...
the better.
Don't threaten me, because I will get Smeeble's art and I will crop his mushroom hat off and redo all of your tokens, and you will all just have mushroom hats.
Please do.
Kim would hate it. I wouldn't have it any other way. But it is about that time of the morning that we get everyone together. So Tim is going to go walk up to Precious's door and give it a light knock.
Hey, Riley, have you ever heard of a peanut butter and pickle sandwich?
What?
I don't know, that seems like something Tim would eat.
I just want to let you know, Macarius, I actually shivered in legitimate bullshit when you said that.
You and me both. I gave Varley the opposite of whatever inspiration is.
Just knock a level off.
Fair. I don't like pickles either, so pickles and peanut butter together. Ooh.
That's not what Precious is.
What? Ah.
Tim knocks slightly louder as he says, Precious, are you up? You know, we'd like it if you came along with us for the day. Riley and Volley, I'd rather have you along so they don't scare me all day with their talk of mushroom hats.
You hear a very slight scratch or tap from the other side of the door, Tim.
Oh, I think I know what that is. Why doesn't one of you guys? Why doesn't one of you guys go open the door? My knuckles are hurt, so yeah. Why doesn't one of you guys go do it?
Riley, you're in front. You can do it. I have to go return some tapes.
Yeah, I gotta go find religion.
You are both hilarious. Good morning, cutie.
Don't say my name.
Precious, are you up?
You only hear light snoring coming from the other side of the door. And you know the door is not locked. It's not like we can lock our doors.
I will crack it open.
You are greeted by the sight of lots of papers crumpled up into balls all over the floor. A big mess is this room. And you can see Precious kind of tossed around her sheets. Her hair is everywhere. Just huge, tangled mess of hair. And her mouth is half open as she lightly snores, a tiny bit of dribble coming out of her lips.
Oh dear. Precious! Riley will very carefully step over any hair that is on the floor, perhaps. And she will tap Precious.
Hi, Riley. Oh, God, is it the morning already?
Allegedly.
Oh.
We are all awake, and we need you to explain to Tim the concept of hats.
I'm gonna need a juice to understand what it is that you mean, Riley. I have been having the worst nights. I can't really seem to, sleep. Riley, you notice she's holding a book. Kinda, when you fall asleep reading a book?
Mhm.
And she's gonna say, I think it's this book. Don't get me wrong, it's fascinating, but it's also really terrifying. It's filled with all these tales of ghosts and hauntings, and I was reading one last night about this fiend who would come into your mind at nighttime whilst you're dreaming, and then eat your dreams and your hopes and your memories until you're nothing but a husk. And, well, I guess they're kind of making me not sleep very well.
Oh no, Valley's gonna come around the corner.
Should
Are you
you
getting
just
your mind
stop
eaten?
reading it?
Whoa, too fast. Take it slow. I need a juice. One at a time.
You would know, I imagine, that you've been in this routine now. But Tim, you may be horrified as Cutie runs down the corridor past you, and with their people hands seems to be assembling a glass of juice with their long pink digits. And after a few minutes, clutching the glass in both hands, you see their pale humanoid feet sort of slapping as they do very much like a frilled lizard, like a two-footed run back, clutching this glass down the corridor, which Cutie hops up onto the bed and presents to Precious.
Tim actively runs back into his room until he's sure Cutie's gone. Just the light pitter-patter of his footsteps echoing against the halls.
Oh, Cutie, you're the best. She's gonna give him some scritches under the chin where he likes it.
Oh.
And start drinking her juice.
I mean, Vali, you gotta admit, that's pretty nice of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bit, normally cats don't have opposable thumbs.
Cutie's not a cat.
8 eyes.
Yeah, I have stopped considering it a cat.
What is Cutie then? But normally things that look like a cat-ish.
Actually, that's a great point. Maybe we should try to find out. I never thought about that.
As you're drinking, by the way, Precious, you do have to, have to fish out a single large fat errant spider that had fallen from Cutie into the juice.
I'm going to discreetly try to put the spider on a corner, like so that spider can go away free, maybe next to the window.
Okay.
But without... Oh, Tim is gone. So without Vali noticing. I don't know if that's a stealth.
Tim's gone.
Be a sleight of hand, I guess.
Oh, alright, let's see how successful that is.
What are our passive perceptions for Varley and Riley?
15.
15 and 13. Yeah,
13.
you managed to secrete the spider.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it next to the window so it goes away.
Secrete is such an interesting choice of words. So, if this book is giving you nightmares, maybe you should stop reading it, or maybe I could read it instead for you and just tell you all the not scary bits.
Oh, do you know what? That's a pretty cool idea. I'm almost done. I think there's only like a story left. Maybe later? Maybe something we could do later. I need to return it to the library anyway, so perhaps just before doing that?
I mean, you don't need to return to the library. That just, be really slow. You could just, leave it at my room and I can give it back to you when I'm done with it, and then you can return it. Why is everyone looking at me like that?
How long is your to-read list? Just asking out of curiosity.
Valley starts counting on their fingers and then just holds up a finger as though counting in air. There's books. There's plenty of books there. It'll keep me busy. Probably. For a long time.
That's great.
Oh, it is great. Yeah, there's lots of great books in here. I could maybe lend some of them to you at some point, if you want them.
Oh, I have plenty of books to read as well.
Oh.
So what are we doing today? What's the...
My first question is it still there?
Riley peeks around the corner and then whispers to Riley, "Is it still there?"
No!
Okay, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go get my safety gear, gloves, goggles, etc. Anything that if I'm gonna be around Cutie, I should be prepared. But I was thinking that today, we have a pretty light day. We could just go around and talk to some of our friends and maybe go around the town a bit and just enjoy the day. Maybe play some games. It'd be
Yeah, we
fun.
could search for fun hats.
That's true. We could find mushroom hats or other hats that aren't mushrooms, just to prove to you, Tim, that there are lots of
I-
hats out there.
I know that. But what I don't know is whether or not Cutie hungers for blood. So I'm gonna go put on my long sleeve shirt. I'll be right back.
You know, that's something I didn't consider, Riley. Whether Cutie hungers for blood, but probably if Cutie's a bloodsucker, it probably only drinks warm blood, and that's probably okay for me because I don't really have warm blood for the most part. Oh,
Really?
nice people. Yeah, I'm really cool. Feel. And Valley holds out their hands.
Oh, wow.
They feel cold, genuinely, like someone just dunked their hands in a bucket of ice water.
That's amazing.
I mean, it's just cold. I mean, a lot of people's hands get cold. A lot of people are cold, I think.
But not permanently. I don't think.
I hear you talking about hats. Mushroom hat. You cannot buy mushroom hats.
Where can I get one?
Professor Cousin grows mushroom hat.
That's great.
Perfect. Perfect. We can talk to.
He grew for
Professor
Smeagol,
Houston.
maybe he grew for you.
Thank you, Smeagol. You're amazing.
Okay, okay.
Thank you,
And
Smeagol.
he reaches up and just snaps a small piece of his hat off and just pops it in his mouth and chews it as he walks off.
It's a
Isn't
portable
that
snack,
practical?
too. It's a portable snack too. That's so clever.
It is.
Smeagol's just way ahead of us in this game.
He's a much higher level. He's a previous adventurer.
Level 22 Goblin Artificer.
Smeagol.
After a few moments, Tim comes back around the corner, garbed in long-sleeved shirt and long, tight, cinched pants. He has on him an assortment of safety gear, the kind you'd see on a lab instructional video. Goggles, gloves, no unprotected feet, no unprotected eyes, hair sort of swept up in any long strands brushed out of the way to be out of its reach. And Tim looking very nervous and fiddly with the whole circumstance.
Riley starts giggling.
That's honestly a bit much. What if you just walk away from the cat? Thing.
What?
You can just run away.
What are we laughing at, guys? Did I miss a joke or something?
I just think it's funny.
Yeah, a bit. Precious, are you seeing this? Take a look.
Precious
God.
takes a look. Tim, is all of this because of Cutie?
Well, it serves a secondary purpose with Smeagol. If I've had an ongoing theory that if he holds your hand for too long, then your head grows a mushroom.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
No, I don't want to be a part of a mushroom-esque hive mind.
What if you already are?
What?
Don't do this to me, Riley. I no, I'm not a part of a mushroom hive mind. Because I'm disagreeing with you all about it. If I were in a hive mind, I would have to agree,
I
right?
mean, that's ridiculous. But like, people can disagree with themselves. You know that's called hypocrisy. Wherever you're like the hypocritical part of the hive mind.
Tim is currently putting on an extra jacket and an extra set of safety goggles.
See,
You
the
know
thunder,
what? I
the
am
thunder
done
agrees
with
me.
this. Precious is going to get up. She's going to grab her backpack. And I'm done with this. You two, you follow me right now. We're going to go into the library and we're going to see what QT is. And you're going to stop this nonsense. Because for a guy who's so obsessed in acquiring knowledge, you sure are really, really quick to be not knowledgeable at all about anything that you deem strange. And I, for one, am tired of it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sure. As
QT
Tim.
nods in assertive agreement and then passes
Tim.
after.
Tim rather
Wait,
shockingly mouth agape follows along.
Oh, you want to head?
I'm sorry.
You're heading
I shouldn't have snapped at you, but I am tired.
So you want to head down to the library?
Yeah.
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 We're gonna go and research what this little creature is.
Okay.
Put it to rest if it eats blood or not once and for all.
So
Probably not a lot of blood, honestly. It's rather
Precious
small.
leading the way.
What kind of teeth does it have?
There's a bag of them around its neck. Now, just loading the map. Yeah, you are leading the way down the steps, and as you do so, you have Cutie behind you and the others, and you suddenly begin to smell as you step down the stairs, just warm, almost like perfume at first, Precious, and just the sounds of trickling water.
A beach episode.
And you would not be familiar with this floor, any of you. You've not made it to this floor before, but there is just a soft sound of like running water and the occasional sort of like just chimes, and it smells warm and pleasant.
Oh.
Oh, shit, that's new.
Did you know what this place is, you guys?
I have no
No.
clue.
It looks like a bathhouse? At least a lava bathhouse.
And looking outside, you'd be used to the outside, you know, the exteriors changing occasionally. But despite having just been hearing and seeing quite a heavy thunderstorm outside, you see that at these windows, the tower just seems to be surrounded by an endless expanse of snow. Just in the middle of just an endless expanse of ice and heavy snowfall.
Does it feel cold near the windows?
It does, but that kind of just increases the feeling of warmth in the rest of the room. It is very warm down here.
Tim is going to very carefully take off his hand, the two gloves on one of his hands, and lightly dip his finger into one of the pools of water.
It is pleasantly warm, and when you take your hand from it, it has that slight sort of tingle of knowing that there's obviously sort of herbs or something revitalising in here, and you feel a bit almost like mint, but kind of just like post-mint coolness.
Oh, guys, I think this is some kind of hot spring. This is really cool.
You mean we had to use the boring wash houses? And we had this in the tower all along?
Yeah, I didn't know this was here.
I can't believe they're holding out on us. Valley's gonna stick their finger into the pool here as they take it out. The water slowly begins to just sort of steam as the hot water meets their cold hand. No. I wonder what the purpose of this floor is, because it seems like it's rather excessive for, a bathhouse.
Maybe Scholar Zeo needs a place to get his fur wet.
Oh. What fur? That probably smell like... Oh, that probably doesn't smell too good.
I'd imagine not, but this all looks rather lovely. I've never actually been to any pool of water that wasn't like a river before.
You've never seen a pool before?
No, not once. There was a stream near my village, but I didn't really go to it. I wasn't a particularly buoyant child.
Sorry. What a surreal sort of... I was never a buoyant child.
DM, is there any sort of bathing suits? Maybe in these, somewhat like something we can change into.
Yeah, you would
Anywhere around.
find on any sort of shelf garments that would allow any sort of body type to modestly bathe.
Is anyone up for a bath? Maybe research later? Or research first, bath later?
Books.
We might not find this place again, though.
Well, I mean,
Agreed.
now that we know it's here, we could probably find it again, right? Or am I... Tim, you know a bit more about this tower than I do. Do you think we can find this place again if we just think really hard about it when going down the stairs?
I'd assume so. You know, I think the thought would probably be of warmth, surrounded by an island of cold. Speaking of which, as Tim is going to take a peek out on the sheets of ice and try and see if there's anything out on the wide expanse or any details he can glean.
Oh, okay. Make me a perception check.
All right.
Very, very impossible to see anything. It is just a heavy blizzard outside.
Tim squints his eyes as he tries to look throughout the cold, swirling blizzard that rages outside the tower walls. But after seeing nothing for a few moments, he gives up, though the curiosity continues to flicker within him as he returns to the party and says, I wonder what's out there on the ice. I'm half tempted.
As you step out from the room, sort of facing a different direction as you exit, you notice this pulsing jade statuette of an elephant over here. It seems to stand on this pedestal. It seems to have some sort of position of prominence.
That's... Hey guys, come over here. This looks pretty interesting. It might have some sort of ritual significance, if I had to guess. It seems very ceremonially placed.
Ooh, you should poke it.
But with my gloves on. As Tim redoes the two gloves on his ungloved hand before gently inspecting the jade statuette to see what he can determine.
So what, are you just having a look at it? Are you touching it? Or tell me what you're doing with it.
Lightly touching it, just sort of moving my hands around the surface, observing the craftsmanship as well as any pertinent iconography I see on or around it.
Okay. As you put your hand on it, the glow sort of intensifies for a moment, and a large green spectral hand just rises out of the elephant and hovers.
Oh, shit. Get a high five.
No.
Moving.
Guys?
Valley's going to try and reach out to give it a high five as it passes by.
It does not acknowledge their presence at all.
I was too
drifts
slow.
off into...
Precious follow.
Yeah. And you see it goes over and it just immediately picks up like a ladle of water that it puts onto the coals, and there is the hiss of steam, and it starts picking up and folding towels, and it just seems to be setting up the sauna and the spa for use and just generally a tidying. It seems to be some sort of programmed attendant.
Oh, that's really cool.
Well, that's clever.
I guess that's something we should expect of Candlekeep.
I'm really surprised that they've managed to get some coals in here. I would have thought the wards would have kept them simmering down. This must be a really special place then.
Are you sure we don't have time to enjoy this? Maybe just half an hour or something.
I mean, I
The books
suppose
can
we
wait.
can...
Oh.
Valley winces at that.
I suppose it could be fun. I don't have any swimming clothes, but I could cobble something together.
You notice Precious not looking at you. She's not making eye contact. She hasn't been doing any eye contact with you since the outburst. But she's gonna just say to no one in particular, there's some ropes here we can use to cover ourselves up and not get our clothes wet. And some changing rooms.
Yeah. Sounds fun. I'm up for it if you guys are.
Okay, I suppose we can delay the books, and Valley just grimaces as they say that.
I love the way you said that.
Just give me a moment, and they're going to take a deep breath. Ah. Oh, there goes the hand. I was too slow again. And another one. Oh, I won't be too slow this time.
You
As,
see a number of these hands just are working around the room.
No, I was too slow. Valley's gonna try and go for a high five on this hand. Does it ignore them as well?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to acknowledge or understand. It just drifts around with its purpose.
Oh, that's so disappointing. Who would make a hand and not... No. This seems like a Zio thing. They probably want, like, the hands doing high fives.
What is Precious doing? This is deep water.
Yeah, she's Oh wait, did we establish she can't swim? No, she can swim.
Oh yeah, but I mean it's not walk around water. She would be up to
Oh,
like
she's
her
swimming.
shoulders. Okay, well I was gonna say
She's
if you talked about changing, the second you went to even begin changing, even if you were by yourself, one of the hands would have come over and it was in almost like a very Green Lantern sort of thing, would just expanded out into like some sort of modesty curtain around you, like each of you as you went to change. So the hands also seem to provide like a built-in changing room service.
I love this place. She's at the moment she has I guess what does this look like? This covering? Is it like a nightie or
We'll say it is as functional a swimming garment as each of you individually would be comfortable your character swimming in. I've held off on this spar a long time because I didn't want to create a situation where it's like, and in today's session, you're all going to disrobe. So it is as modest as each of you would like. You find, almost like it's a magical place, you find robes but are tailored exactly to what each of you would have liked.
I'd rather say Tim's.
Tim's is like a bell diving suit.
It basically is.
Tim is definitely a never nude.
I'm just picturing Tim in like a diving suit that looks like this because my mind's rotting.
Tim's it's basically a wetsuit that's like padded with multiple layers, and he doesn't know this, but any of you who see the outfit would be able to guess that the extra padding around the body is designed to be buoyant, as Tim himself cannot swim, and it seems the magic of this place somehow knew that.
I actually don't know how to swim either, and Valley's just gonna take a sit on one of the stairs here and dangle their feet in the water. I never really learned how to swim because I've just been in Candlekeep most of my life, so never got.
Oh well, you know, I kind of sank a lot as a kid, so I never learned to either. I can kind of doggy paddle, but not very far.
Make me a perception check, everybody.
Ooh.
DC 10. You would have, well, everyone except Precious would have noticed. Perhaps Precious was distracted or paying attention to something else at the time. But the second that both Varley and separately Tim vocalise that they cannot swim, one of the hands just immediately snaps away from its duties and just seems to like maintain a hover near them at all times.
Magical lifeguards.
Also, as you're there trying to swim, you see Cutie doing a proper backstroke past you, Tim.
It's doing a backstroke,
Yeah.
you say, with its human hands and feet, you say.
As it passes you, you're leaving an occasional spider in the water.
And Tim's hiding in the corner of the pool, you say. Yes, he is. Well, oh yeah, it says go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to change the topic a bit in character, so you can go first.
All right. Yeah, no, that's basically all I had. I was going to change it too.
Valley just looks at the pool and says, "Do you think someone could like run across water if you ran fast enough? Like really, really fast. Just like sprint across it before you can even sink."
I've never seen anything like that. That'd be pretty wild.
It would be. That, like, yeah, maybe I'll try that. I've been trying to do some more runs, so yeah, why not? I'll set that as a little personal goal for myself. Figure out how to run across water. Oh, that.
How does one train for something like that?
I would assume you just run faster. and faster, and then instead of sinking, you'd float.
I'm excited to see you do it.
I doubt it'll be anytime soon. Almost like that's a feature several levels from now.
It blows my mind that you've been in the tower all this time and yet you haven't seen this place before. How long have you been here exactly?
Oh, Valley, counts on their fingers. What day is it today? Do any of you know? Like, the actual date. It's in the summer, so it's something like Myrtle?
Tim thinks for a moment. The days all blend together. I thought it was another month.
Well, it's sometime in the summer, so probably about, 21 years, maybe? Yeah, about there. Maybe 20. I honestly haven't been keeping track.
And how old are you?
22? About there, I think. Maybe, yeah, about there. So, yeah, almost my entire life, I guess.
Precious takes a moment and kind of zooms a bit closer and judges if this is the right time or not. But she's going to dare ask something a little bit more personal and say, Valley, do you know your family? Where you came from?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Like, Baldur's Gate, originally? I mean, my dad was, well, my mom was a human laborer at a little guild, I think, and my dad, he was also an artisan at the same guild, and that's how they met, and my dad was a tiefling, so I guess that's how I got this, and Valley just pokes their horns. And, well, then there was a bit of an accident, and, well, people don't really like tieflings, so I guess the suspicion fell on my dad, and he left, and you can't really care for a child on your own when you're on the run, so he stopped by Candlekeep, and, yeah. Said, hey, maybe you'd be better suited to take care of my kid than I, and, yep. So, I mean, I know of them.
Have they kept in touch at all over the years?
Well, not my dad. I mean, my mom's, a bit. And Valley just, like, does that little rictus face, sticks out their tongue, tilts their head back a bit, bleh. I mean, I get some updates. One of my dad's friends, I guess, old half-elf guy named Kenshin Gas, and he, oh, these hands are great, even offer moral supports. He swings by every so often, bringing a few books to Candlekeep, and drops by. So he says some things like, oh yeah, your dad's doing fine, or something. I mean, I haven't met them in years. It's okay.
Insight check.
Okay. Let me just see. What would I roll for this? Do you want to do that thing where the DC to discern if someone's truthful is 30 minus...
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. Valley seems truthful.
So, what was it like to be in Candlekeep as a kid? Did you make friends?
Yeah, I'm talking to one right now, but it's just like being in Candlekeep as an adult, except, a bit longer. I mean, you've been here a while, haven't you? A few years?
No, just a couple, I think. I also didn't have friends my age growing up. That's why I ask.
I mean,
Um,
it's fine. I mean, it wasn't bad. Folks here are pretty nice. Great sort. Took me in, raised me.
give
Probably
you all the
why.
books.
Yeah, honestly, that might be why that I've been getting off so easy. Not that I'm doing anything bad, of course. It's totally okay to borrow books from the library, but if I was doing something not great, which I'm not, maybe there is a bit of favoritism because I've basically been here forever.
You know what, Valley? I don't think that's the reason you're favored. I just think you're pretty awesome. So they're just giving you a slight pass. And she winks
Thanks.
at you.
Valley will wink back. I think I'm pretty awesome too.
You would have noticed. Did you say that Precious is fully in the pool and Varley is sat with their legs dangling in?
Yep.
Yeah, as long as Valley's okay with it, she might have done, if Valley's okay with it, she might have kind of like hooked Precious's armpits like around her foot and let like Valley kind of like um, swing her back and forth. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, kind of. I think Valley would just sort of move ever so slightly away because in the pool they're still really cold and you just feel like
Wait.
Have you ever been in a hot tub in the wintertime where the water's really warm but then you like grab a pile of snow from outside and it's just like even though you're surrounded by warmth it's still really cold?
That's so specific. No, I haven't, but okay.
Well, I was going to say, Precious, you'd actually notice the water cooling relatively quickly around where you are. To a point where, after a few moments, the hand drifts away from its supportive location next to Varley, and it extends its palm out, and there is a hiss as a stream of steam extends from the hand into the water's surface for a few moments, and you both feel the water begin to rapidly heat to a more comfortable, I imagine, for you, Precious. Not sure how Varley feels about it. Sort of temperature, as the hands are seemingly regulated, programmed to regulate spa temperatures.
Where do I get one of those?
Well, right here, I suppose. And one thing everyone, or at least Tim would have remembered, is that Kenshin Gaius is the same name that Valley used as their disguise in the Amberdoom books last session.
Tim does remember, but his first thought is, oh god, I really did use Jim as my secret identity, didn't I? But for most of this conversation, Tim's just been idly sitting by the corner of the pool, shrinking in fear every time Cutie backstrokes by. And just keeping his seat. Aside from that, he looks quite calm.
Okay. What's Riley doing at the moment?
Riley would be probably leaning on the stone, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
This would be, and listening to Valley, and she would be kind of enwrapped in her thoughts.
Do you know what she would be thinking about at the moment? Or is she just taking it easy?
She would be probably thinking about her own past.
Okay. As she is, or as you are, thinking about this, there is a moment where your thoughts just sort of focus for a moment, and you know that it's from you, but you just instinctively understand it There is a moment where your thoughts just create this single golden butterfly that just flutters around you over water for a moment, and everybody else can see it if they're to look over. And you instinctively know that this is just something you can do, and it flutters around for a moment before it just sputters back out into a single ember that falls into the pool.
Ooh, nifty.
Cool.
That's so beautiful, Riley. How do you do that?
Wait, this is something I can do?
Apparently so.
No, I'm asking the DM.
You found yourself thinking, and you found yourself manifesting it.
Okay, so can Riley be surprised, or like, would she know what this is?
The second you do it for the first time, you realise you can do it, and you could do it again if you wanted to.
Okay.
Wow.
I didn't know I could do that.
That's so cool.
I could do it again, I think.
How does it? How does
You
it?
will attempt
feel?
to do it again.
And this time, focusing on it and intending to do it and giving it more thought, you are all surprised as instead a number of them appear.
Whoa.
Oh, can you do other animals? Like, could you do like birds
Wait,
or
I
something,
can't see it.
or dragons?
You can't see that, Nikki.
No.
Oh, I can't either. I thought it's just theater of the mind there.
Could you not see it the first time, everybody, when I created it?
Nope.
No.
Unfortunately,
Very
no.
interesting. Allow me to delete it, because both times I did it, there has been an asset being used. So can we see that? That one?
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
that's
wow.
larger than I made it before. I made it that size. Can you still see that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I used that the first time. I wonder why it hasn't shown. And then the second time we went with...
Ooh.
Wow.
You know, the reason it probably didn't work is because Roll20. It's spelled Untitled.
Keep saying roll 20 in the very Frasier style of Cam Winston.
Riley, how does it feel to make them?
Interesting question, Riley. And you would know that each of these butterflies is a manifestation of one of your thoughts. You know that you see and understand things differently to the vast majority of people, and sometimes when things are getting a little bit too much for you to process, or there's things you don't want to dwell on, you've learned that you're able to sort of compartmentalize them and just remove them from... You're not forgetting or wiping the memories, but it's an easy or comfortable way of you just saying, well, I need to focus on this or that. I want to remove these thoughts at a moment, or that's a memory I don't want to dwell on. And you can just compartmentalize it and expel it from yourself into the form of these butterflies.
That is so cool.
That is really, really cool.
This is some flavor I decided to add to your... I forgot the exact name of it, but your subclass. Transcended, is it?
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I wanted to take an approach to Transcended, but wasn't just the, I'm very smart.
Galaxy brain. Ooh, can you do other animals, Riley?
No,
Do you like it?
can't. It's the only asset I have.
Well, Valley doesn't know that. Did you do like a tiny little
I think
dragons or
so.
something?
Once again, what?
You do like tiny little dragons or something?
I think
Wormlings?
so. Yeah. And she would transform them into tiny little dragons.
And you have to all imagine what that would look like.
It's like I'm there.
Cutie's gonna try to paw at one, just kind of playfully.
Yeah, the cutie swipes and eventually manages to swipe true, but their hand just passes straight through.
Oh, are they real or like an illusion?
Well, that's complicated.
How so?
They're kind of like manifestations of my thoughts, you know?
Really?
That's really interesting. Riley, can I? I've um, I've been reading about something, and I would really like to try something with you, if that's okay.
It's okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Hold on. She's gonna swim toward. All right. Okay. This I've only read this. It's a theory. I haven't quite practiced it just yet, but there's a way in which, by using certain words and certain tones, I can make your brain believe things that are not real to be real. And I would just like to try it if you'd indulge me.
Ah,
Okay, so I want you to very strongly not think about a pink elephant.
I am
And if it,
thinking about a pink elephant now.
wonderful. And as you do, as your brain concentrates in not thinking of a pink elephant, it manifests in your mind the image of a pink elephant. And it also manifests in reality as Precious is using this to cast Minor Illusion. And there is a baby-sized pink elephant just about there. And it blows pink bubbles in the air. You all can see this, by the way.
Oh,
Ooh,
Wow.
nifty.
So using these principles, basically, you could just do you can manipulate reality just by collective thought. And in theory, with a lot of practice, you could manifest reality. You could wish something and make it so just by manifesting it with words. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
It's really cool. I read something about that. I think it's called Ahamkara, which is a term for ego, and it just means like when your ego can start to influence the world, or at least your perception of it.
wait, so Precious has a really big ego?
Oh, no. I mean like ego, but sort of like your opinion, not like being full of yourself, just like making a decision and sticking with it kind of thing. More like force of
Like
will,
your consciousness?
or your charisma or something.
I never thought about it like that before. This is all really cool, you guys. Wow.
Yeah, it's something I kind of got into recently. Just sort of the power of words, and it's usually a combination of like intonation and what it is that you're saying. But I still have so much more to learn.
Well then,
I've been trying to write these things down, and it's really hard to get right. But I don't know. I've never been so excited about anything as I am about this. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
You'd probably be a great public speaker then.
Uh-huh. Oh, that reminds me. Where did all your instruments go? I thought you wanted to, practice them. Did you get rid of them?
Uh, yeah, I put them back into the music room. I just don't think they're right for me. I kept the dulcimer because I need to find the right tone for the words that I'm speaking. But
Oh,
I
okay.
feel the purest strength comes from just literally my voice,
Oh, I see.
rather than the instruments. So, and also I needed space for all the notebooks and the new scrolls, and something had to give.
I suppose,
Are you gonna keep singing?
I think so. Yes, I don't know where it comes from, but sometimes I just sort of connect with this energy, vibe, and then I just know what to do and what to say. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Um, I guess I just need a bit more practice.
oh, I was actually thinking about what we did recently with the, Amber people, and I was, trying to come up with a little poem, because I know you like to sing, so I was thinking maybe you could sing that.
That sounds amazing. I'd love to.
It goes something like, once upon a time we met a drow named Fell, and thanks to him we have quite a story to tell. But first we got books to read, which is in truth the plot's seed. We read Masfroth's mighty digressions, which became the start of our sessions. From the book came a living spell, which raised some hell.
Nice, nice rhyme.
From some research we found a noble most rude, and thanks to him we went in search of some dudes. Following the trail we find Amberdune books, which we suspect may be run by crooks. Donning our disguise, we began to search for more rhymes because I'm running out. Because honestly I'm a real lout. Rama and Imbar are the sellers of books, and Imbar's magic seems to come from a firm look. The twins in their shop seemed quite suspicious, as we sought for books most auspicious. But the twins disappeared into sewers quite neared. And that's actually all I have there. That's it.
And through the sewers, you went on a hunt. But you got jumped by a jackal, who unfortunately...
That was a bit of a runt.
Very cool. Inspiration for pulling that out, Bobby.
Thank you. All right, with that cancels out my negative inspiration. Whoop.
I was.
Did you have
gonna
that
say
typed out
as
or
you-
prepared?
I actually had that typed out
Nice.
previously.
Sorry, Precious.
Nothing. I was just gonna say that as you were gonna say that, I would be like, like a call and repeat, echoing it with song, and then that would manifest kind of like small minor illusions of, a book, the face of the Jackaware, the spirit book, like all of those kind of little, almost like a little interactive storytelling.
Amazing. I really like that.
Nice. That's very cool. So, you can just change the world based on, your thoughts. So, I guess, thoughts and words. So I guess think happy thoughts and think happy words, and don't read scary books about monsters that eat your dream, or maybe it'll come true, kind of thing.
Oh, that is terrifying. Okay, we're definitely going to read this last book all together. I am not doing this alone anymore. She giggles.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
I feel like that's a bad thing to say, because whenever
I
people
know.
say that, bad things happen.
Oh, I know. I mean, that was a joke, I guess, because we just talked about how, Precious could make the bad things real.
She could also make the good things real too, like
That's true.
lettuce sandwiches.
That's already real, Tim.
But she could make another one.
We have spare lettuce, I think.
What is all powerful power for if not making me a sandwich?
Valley looks over at Precious, just sort of going,
Precious rolls her eyes a little bit, and she's still kind of not making eye contact.
Tim purses his lips a bit at that and falls silent, put off by the silence.
I mean, if you can do anything, why would you do something mundane, you know? Like, if you can make thoughts real, why would you just settle for something so ordinary as just, lettuce in between bread?
Well, I wouldn't want to. If I had that power, I wouldn't want to do anything, crazy with it. I'd probably just keep living my life, but with extra lettuce sandwiches.
I think
Cute.
I'd like to basically continue I guess this is a way for maybe me to continue my family's legacy in a way. They're always servicing and using their abilities to help other people, and I think that's what I'd like to do with it, really.
Well, that sounds a bit dangerous, don't you think?
It hasn't been dangerous for us so far. In fact, it's pretty nice.
I mean, yeah, like Precious says, like, if you have a talent, you should use it for something meaningful, and not just, sit around and sit on your thumbs.
Do you remember what we did last time? I think once you help someone, your life becomes really meaningful. At least that's what I've seen growing up, and just helping the Jaguars last time and helping Professor Theo escape, I feel so fulfilled and powerful. Alive, I guess. It's quite addictive.
I was just kind of scared. It was all very risky and dangerous, Very anxiety-inducing.
Yeah, but you still did it, and being brave is not about not being scared. It's about confronting that fear, and you did that. Sometimes.
And I mean, like, if doing good is easy, wouldn't everyone be doing it? There's all these books about, like, heroes that I've read, and you probably read them too, but, heroes never became heroes by just, making lettuce sandwiches for themselves.
I admire you guys' thoughts on the matter. And helping people is good and all, but I don't know. It all just seems rather stressful.
Just over your shoulder, Tim, you see Cutie stood there on 2 feet again, holding a bulging lettuce sandwich, which it offers out to you.
You can just set that down, Cutie.
And it just holds them out a bit further towards you.
You can set it down, Cutie.
But then the sandwich
and it now leans out a bit, holding the sandwich out over the water, and is leaning out towards you. Very sort of like lemur-like.
Tim is scrambling for one of his gloves as he half jumps out of the pool to snatch it up and wrap it around his hand before very trepidatiously holding out his shaking hand towards the lettuce sandwich.
Cutie hands you the lettuce sandwich and then leaps back into the pool and backstrokes over towards Precious again, leaving a spider or two flailing in the water.
Tim basically he tosses the lettuce sandwich to the side onto the wooden pool deck, and then just scrabbles away, water splashing as he frantically paddles away from the spiders in the water.
Does Precious see that? What you've done with the sandwich?
That's up to Precious.
I mean,
It's
it just
still- it's
depends on
still-
how flamboyant the throwing out is, or like how discreet it is.
Oh, it's still there. It's just on the side of the pool deck, a bit askew.
In the meantime, Riley will fish out the spiders and set them on the stones.
God, I imagine you're just creating some absolute new like island state for the spiders on here. King of a rock.
Precious is okay. Hold on to your horses. Precious is going to go right up to Tim's face, as close as she can, still in the water, and see the sandwich. And without breaking eye contact, she's going to grab a loose spider and say, usually one says thank you when one receives a favor. And then she's going to eat the spider and turn away and swim away.
That's nightmare fuel. Thank you, cutie.
How much psychic damage does Tim take there?
All of it. All of it. All the damage.
Yes. How much damage? Yes.
Yes. As Tim, just rather intimidated, is set amongst the corner of the pool, sort of hiding in between the wooden walls that surround it. So, guys, I think I've had about enough of the pool. Why don't we go out and enjoy the day?
Oh, here's something to distract you, Tim, so you don't have to think about that. If we look out the window, we can see snow, but did you just hear that thunder crack?
No.
Did you hear that thunder crack, Precious? Riley?
Maybe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how can we hear... Oh, there's another one right there. How can we hear that if we're supposed to be seeing snow?
I mean, you can see and hear different things.
I know, but we feel cold, so that really makes you think about how this magic works in this tower. And Valley's just gonna press a wet hand against the window, and almost immediately the water on their hand starts to freeze over. Like a glove.
Like a glove.
And then just cracks as they move their hand away.
Valley, does the cold ever bother you?
No, the cold never bothered me anyway.
Oh,
Oh.
oh.
Can I
Taking my
petition-
inspiration away again.
Yes, I would have petitioned to take it away.
Someone else sets up the joke, and now I'm the bad guy here. I mean, never much felt like really cold, I suppose. Well, that and fire. Honestly, I feel cold, molten fire, but just sort of, thing. I don't know. I feel like I've been getting a bit physically colder, but probably just my imagination.
Are you sure about that?
No?
Because, as we've all learned today, imagination, in particular, thought, can have a good degree of influence over, well, most anything.
I mean, that's if you're precious. Like I'm nowhere near as what you might call, influential, I suppose.
Well, I don't know about that because clearly Tim's thoughts are making him see monsters when in fact there is a goblin with a very useful hat.
Yeah.
And so maybe everyone's thoughts can alter their perception of reality.
He. Uh, mm,
She flips her hair kind of like over her shoulder.
It takes several hours.
Oh, you have noticed that while she was in the water, the hair was not in the water. It somehow has braided itself kind of like on a top notch braid thing over her head, almost like a
Mhm.
huge hat. And now that she's out of the water, it's kind of come back down onto the floor.
Hmm. But hey, Precious,
Yeah,
you have really nice hair.
insight
Like,
check.
oh no, there's no check for Tim to make.
You incite him.
Yeah, you can still feel free to do so, but he is being honest there.
God, she's so good at insight. Clearly, thank you. I'm glad that it fits within your expectations of nice things and not maybe some sort of monster.
Mhm.
Tim blue screens.
Yeah. Uh, maybe we could go explore the town for the day, you guys.
Yeah, yeah,
What about
maybe, yeah, we go to explore and find out what QT is. And is there anything else you guys want to get done today?
No, I'm rather don't have much.
I suppose we can just go to the library, yeah?
Yes.
All right then, as Tim rather abruptly gets out of the pool and changes back into his clothes and protective gear.
Yeah, the last remaining hand would sort of help you out by the elbow, and if you remain, well, regardless of what room you went into, if you stayed here, it would erect that expanding that modesty screen around you again. And then once everybody's out the water and no longer using the facilities of the spa, the hands all just drift back to the elephant statuette, and each of them just fades into it.
All right, and then once everyone's ready, Tim is going to head back towards the stairs and concentrate on thoughts of the library.
You think we can take these stairs and catch up with them over here, Riley?
Let's do it.
Let's split the party.
Hey, if you want to do it, you can.
Valley's gonna head up these stairs, and they are going to The water on their feet has already started to freeze solid, and they almost slip and wipe out, but they manage to catch themselves on the railing instead of just knocking their jaw on the stone steps.
Be careful, Valley.
Oh, right, yeah, I forgot about the ice. And they follow Riley up the steps.
Okay, so it's Volley and Riley on one set of stairs, Precious and Tim on the other, isn't it?
Yep.
Am I right with
I
that?
guess Precious hasn't noticed that they're not being followed, so yeah.
All right.
You head up your stairs, Riley. You head down your stairs, Precious, Tim, and Cutie. And for both groups, you find yourselves through different angles of entry, having come from the same room, entering the same room.
Hello.
Oh,
Oh, hi.
What are you doing here? Riley
We
says,
did it!
shooting some finger guns. I think
Oh,
we got here
well,
first.
uh,
We definitely got here first.
you know, if I had a prize to give, I would.
You can give us a prize?
I probably can't, but Scholar Zio might be able to. Hey, Scholar Zio.
And you see Scholar Zio is sat writing at a desk and sort of stood next to him, tapping away on the edge of a desk quite rhythmically, is a tutor I don't think you have met in-game before, but you would know is one of the more supposedly powerful spellcasters in Candlekeep, Archmage Saina. A very short, doesn't match all the descriptions of being a Kenku, but is a short, dark-plumed bird person. And you would all know that she does not speak.
Scholar, Archmage, as Tim gives a few nods, steep ones to each. How are the both of you doing today?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm quite fine. I'm just taking some notes down for Saina. What are you all doing today?
Well, we were actually interested in researching. I'm not sure how safe it is to say its name. As Tim gestures towards Cutie, finding out what it is.
And he looks over to Precious and gives an appraising look.
I'm not sure it's an it. I'm in fact pretty sure it's a he. Or at least that's what he seems to prefer. His name is Cutie, and it came to me originally from my stomach. Whilst we were in that pocket dimension, and I don't really know what it is. I know he's not a cat. I'm pretty sure he's some sort of familiar, but I don't know exactly his nature, and I just love to know more about him, I guess.
He turns to Sayana for a moment, just sort of taps a couple of times a quill on the edge of his table in a bit of a pattern, and he's like, quite likely. from your stomach, you say?
Originally, yes, but now I can manifest it from anywhere. Cutie, come. And Cutie's going to merge into her calf or merge out of her shoulder and purr and stroke his neck all around their necks, and then it's gonna go into her chin and kind of come out on the hand on the other side.
Fantastically revolting. I love it.
It's like a little cat on a string, almost.
That's rather visceral. That isn't your typical conjuration of a familiar. Very interesting. What did your mother and father do?
Oh, I don't have a father. I have two mothers. And they are, I guess, they're healers. They're, they like to call themselves just helpers. They provide magic services to people.
But originally, not quite part of the standard curriculum, but obviously, originally there would have been a gentleman of sorts involved. Do you know if he had any arcane persuasions? You see, Zio is quite uncomfortable with the line of questioning. That there's obviously a very pertinent question he wants to ask, but doesn't feel comfortable approaching.
Precious looks extremely confused, and she says, no, gentlemen. I came from my mothers, and yes, they are both very proficient in the arcanes. But she's kind of like looking, she's also looking at like Valley, Riley, and Tim, going like, back me up here. Like, what is this? Why is it so hard to understand? Like, what's going on?
Session 2.5, Sex Education.
Going in jail for 1,000 years.
You can see that Zio just decides, okay, this is not a line of inquiry that he has the strength to continue. So he's like, proficient in the arcane. Is their magic ever so anatomical as what you have just demonstrated? Or is their conjuration more traditional?
I don't understand what you mean about traditional, considering that I've only ever witnessed what they do. I can explain to you what they do, and then you could let me know if that's the usual way of conjuring,
and
perhaps?
He sort of shifts his chair to a more sort of just like comfortable paying attention sort of position, and Sienna sort of taps a couple of times and he nods like, yes, of course, thank you, yes, later. And she hops off.
Oh, I'm very sorry. If we're bothering you, we can just go.
And she just gives
Have a great day, Sienna.
She just gives you a smile and just carries on. Sort of
Have a great day,
hops
Archmage.
up the stairwell. Zio say, if you would not object, then yes, I would be very interested in hearing this, and could then perhaps direct you to the most appropriate sort of tomes and sections.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, they do all sorts. I think their magic is innate, in that it's not like wizards that comes from books or anything like that. And they kind of custom what they do depending what the petitioner is asking, but it usually involves some sort of combination of plants and sometimes some animal parts, I guess. We grow a lot of plants at home, and we also have some animals that we grow for this purpose. Is there anything specific you're looking for?
Do your mothers live in a town or in a city, or do they live more on an outskirt, in more of a private residence?
Oh, we own our own home. It's pretty nifty, actually. It walks around. It's less of a home and more of a hut, really, but it's quite comfortable. So we move around, usually staying in the outskirts of different towns. Um, we've been all over the place, really. My favorite are lakeside towns, but sometimes we go into forests, sometimes we go into desert. It's quite nifty to have a house that moves around.
Indeed. I'll have a think about what sort of tomes might be most appropriate to research. I may have to consult with a couple of colleagues first. Yes, but most interesting. I would wager that, yes, this cutie is nothing more than a familiar, as you said, but just somewhat of a less traditional in its source.
Did you hear that, cutie? You're quite special. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just want to make sure that I'm taking proper care of him, you know? He's great. He's so smart.
Well, I had some business with Archmage Saina, so I will be catching up with her now. I trust you have...
Does he look at all, like, sort of concerned? Or...
Maybe an insight check.
Oh, no, not one of those again.
Nat 20, nat 20, nat 20.
Yeah, not bad.
He looks deep in thought. Yeah, he's mulling stuff over, and you definitely get the sense that he's kind of holding back some things that he decided not to say, but is clearly thinking about.
Shall we wait here, or...?
I'll get back to you later in the week about the best sort of books. You just return to, or continue with whatever your business was. I would not stray from the tower today, though, with this weather. And as if to make a point, he points to the window for a moment and right on cue. And also, the DM has prepped nothing outside the tower.
Well, as Scholar Zio leaves, with his reassurances, as one might say, Tim feels slightly less intense panic from being around Cutie. Still intense panic, but, you know, it's gone from a heart attack to, like, minor palpitations. And, though he still eyes Cutie warily, he is less inclined to run off as he looks at the rest of the party and says, well, is there anything else you all would like to do today?
I mean... no. If we're not going to get any books here, then... that's unfortunate. Well, maybe I'll just take a brief look around. Now that I don't need to just... Yes?
No. don't think you should take any more books if you aren't gonna give them back.
Of course I'm going to give them back, right after I read them.
I look around at both Riley and Precious with a kind of right expression on my face.
Why are you looking at...
Won't stop you.
The way you say that, it sounds like you're kind of, judging me a bit.
I don't think judging is the right word. I prefer concern.
I don't have a problem.
That's what
one
that's
extra
what
books.
someone with a problem says.
Now you're just making me out to be a bad person. Oh.
No, certainly not. You're one of the better people I know here. Just that doesn't mean that you shouldn't keep an eye on your habit.
Fine, okay. You win. Alright. I will not borrow a book from the library today.
Wait, I do? Wow. I wasn't expecting that. Usually don't.
Words have power. Talking about the power of words, she takes a big, 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 big sigh, and nice. She's gonna turn to Tim, not noticing anything that Valley is doing, and I guess distracting Tim so that he doesn't notice either. And she's going to say, "Listen, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have spoken to you in that way. I was frustrated because Cutie has brought me nothing but joy, and when you are mean to him, it hurts me. But I shouldn't have lashed out, and I am sorry, and I would like you to help me find a way in which I can bridge the gap between you both. I don't want this tension. Help, please."
I didn't mean to do any of that. I just, I can't promise to not be afraid of them. They are rather, unique in appearance, but, I'll try not to be quite so frightened. After all, if I were you, I'm sure I would want my friend to be respected too. So I'll try my best.
Also,
She smiles and she says, "That means the world to me. Thank you."
also I think Cutie's a he, not a they. And Valley's just going to lean against the bookshelf, hands behind their back where no one can see their hands.
Tim is rather distracted as of right now, but you can't help but get the sense that if he knew what you were doing, he would rather strongly disapprove.
Does Varley need to make a sleight of hand check, Macarius?
I jokingly already rolled one, but if
Oh,
you'd like
did
me to
you?
roll another one. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Volley would feel their fingers close around the edge of a book behind them. They do not know what it is, but they are able to pull it discreetly into their satchel. Book and everybody, I suppose, well, against passive perceptions, I don't think anyone has a passive perception that high, do they? And no one had outright said that they were staring down Varley, keeping an eye on them, so I would say that Varley has made it away with a book there. Title to be established later, when we get a chance to actually take it out and look at it.
So Tim gives Precious a soft smile as still quite discomforted by Cutie, but making a noticeable effort is not moving further away from him.
She smiles, and it's heartwarming.
And Tim, as well as myself, can't quite think of anything else that he or I would like to do, so I leave the floor to the rest of you.
I likewise think I've had enough of the stage here. If Riley would like to take anything here.
You guys, I am kind of still thinking about the mushroom hats.
Please, there's only so much I can develop in one day.
I know, but wouldn't that be cool to have a mushroom hat?
Do you know if
I
we
am
hit
quite
your limits
hungry.
yet? We
I
might
am-
not have hit your limit yet, Tim.
I'm still rather afraid it would take over my mind.
No, I mean, it'll probably be fine.
That's not very comforting.
Don't worry about it. It'll probably be fine.
That makes me more worried about it.
Like, do you really think Greenkeeper Cusons would just be handing out mushrooms that possess people?
Yes!
Why would
Really?
he do that?
He Oh, okay, I don't have a reason why. But it seems like something that a botanical professor would do, hand out mushroom hats to get everyone to be mushrooms, and then you're professor of everyone. Okay, that doesn't track as soundly as I thought it did, but you get the point.
I'm not sure I do.
I'm not sure I do either, but it's still something to be concerned about.
Is it?
Probably. It might be a bit foolhardy of me, but I remain slightly, scared of mushrooms possessing me. It's an irrational fear, but most fears are.
I mean, that's fair.
So we can all agree that Smeeble isn't a real person and it's part of a collective hive mind then.
Oh, well, no, not all. That's...
But you just said you agreed with me.
Oh, I was agreeing with the irrational fears bit.
Tim, other
Yeah.
than your drug dealing friend, has anything happened in the past where you've been anything that happened that might have made you maybe a bit susceptible to have trust issues of things that you don't understand?
Honestly speaking, no, not really. I just don't want to be possessed. I feel like this is a rational, and I feel like you guys are questioning my rationality a little bit, which is understandable, but it's something to be concerned about is all I'm saying.
Maybe I'm not the one who should be taking a book. Maybe you should be taking a book on mindfulness here.
Valley, you shouldn't be taking a book.
I didn't take a book. I didn't take a book, but maybe Tim should, because Tim is... Well, Valley's blatantly lying, so I should probably do a deception, but... Tim should maybe think about getting something on... not trusting everything you just think about.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
silver-tongued devil.
I mean,
Tim is rather confounded by Volley's twisting words, and so has no reason or impetus to look further into the lack of truth within them. Instead, just sort of mutely nods and agrees in the kind of way where you can tell that he doesn't actually agree, but is kind of just eager to drop the subject.
I'll tell you what, Tim. I'll make you a promise right now, and you know my promises are binding. I will... They are. Yeah, absolutely. If I give you my word, it's absolutely binding and precious. Isn't yours?
I mean, yeah, I always keep my promises. Like I told myself, if any of my friends ever became infected by mushroom hats, I'd do what I had to do. So yeah,
Wait,
no,
what?
that's the thing. Yeah.
What does that mean? What would you do?
No, Precious, go ahead. You were saying.
I feel we might be distracting from the point.
Yeah, when did you make that promise to us? Tim?
Mm-hmm.
When did you make that promise, and what does have to do?
Tim nurses his flamethrower.
Whatever I have to do to make sure that the mushroom infection that I might have made up doesn't spread. That's what. Anyway,
Okay.
Precious, you were saying.
Well, I, for one, am happy to let the mushroom overlords take over.
Well, no, they want inside your head.
Before this escalates, just let's all take a deep breath.
Maybe they would study better.
Wait. Tim, I hear your concerns. Mind control is not a great thing.
It's not.
It's not. I will make you a promise right now that I will dedicate my time to study ways to counter the ability for anyone to control your mind, mushroom or otherwise. I will do that for you. As long as... No, a promise has two parts, and they are both binding.
I'm listening.
Mm-hmm. There's like a intensity to Precious right now. Like it's gone from like jovial to like really important. As long as you no longer draw any suspicion on Smeagol until he does anything to raise that suspicion. Not things that he already does. Before you open your mouth, close it again. Close it. Very good. I will research that so that we will be protected forever from the mushrooms. But you will question your thoughts, and before you make wild accusations, you will wait for evidence and proof. Or at least try. Do we have a deal? And she's gonna extend her arm.
I mean, I don't take it that seriously. If I'm being honest, you guys, this just kind of started as like a joke that grew into a fear that very quickly grew out of hand.
Oh, I'm more than, if we're talking out of character, I'm more than happy for this to continue going in character. I'm already thinking of all sorts of ways that this is gonna work.
Oh no!
So don't feel like you've strayed so far. You thought you came here for jovial Candlekeep, but this is now turning into like The Last of Us, Debbie Plane of Dread, like Cordyceps invasion.
No. Tim was saying that in
I'm sorry, Joel.
To kind of like diffuse the situation.
Oh, you dropped the voice? I thought that was you dropping character and being like, guys, I think I took us down a path here.
No.
Oh.
Her hand's still out.
Yeah.
By the way,
Precious' hand is still out.
Yeah, you might not be taking it seriously, but she's taking this very seriously. Not in a mean way, mind you, just in a kind of like, we have a deal. Do we have a deal?
Tim will shake it, but he insists nonetheless that there's no need to research anti-mind control. anything. Just keep a gentle eye on Smeal.
Tim, Precious.
Yes.
As you shake hands, everybody hears and sees a faint, but definitely present, sort of brief, dark, purple shimmer extend over your hands and wrists as you shake and make your agreement with each other. Neither of you have experienced this before.
Precious pulls the hand back.
What just happened?
What
She-
was that?
I don't know.
Doesn't it? I don't know what it was, but it's cool. Do it again.
Okay, as Tim
Is
reaches
this promise
out.
binding to third parties? Because some of us maybe don't want to be protected from mushroom overlords.
I mean, I've sort of seen something like this before. This is what happens with. Well, I call her my moms, but they're really my aunties, really. That's how they provide their services to people. That's really cool. It basically means this promise is now binding. I didn't know I could do that. She is so excited right now, like beaming.
Oh.
I guess the learning is working. Oh, that's studying.
Oh, so when you say it's a binding, it's actually like magically binding and not just like a I promise to return the books binding. Oh.
Oh my god. God damn it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
we are now bound by well, I believe it's originally Fey magic. That is so exciting. She is going to hug you as long as that is okay. She's really excited, and she kind of hugs you and grabs you by the shoulder and smiles at you.
Tim is trying his best to feign excitement, but for anyone who's paying attention, you can just see a growing look of, like, rather trepidatious nerves running through his skin as he's like, oh god, what does this mean?
It means you can no longer be mean to QTO's people. That's what it means.
Precious's voice drops several octaves and say, "This pact is sealed."
And as Tim shakes Precious's hand, looking rather nervous to any who might be watching, I don't particularly have anything else. Like I said earlier, I don't have anything else that Tim or myself would would know or can think of to do. So if anyone else has anything left they'd like to explore, I would be particularly interested in that.
I'd like to see if there is anything that Riley would like to do in the library. Which isn't me kind of asking in like a you've forgotten something way.
I am now thinking back. What could I?
No.
have
It's
forgotten?
it's definitely not a way. But I'm going to move us on from the library if not. And I know that Riley hasn't had too much look around here yet. If not, it's totally fine.
You know what? She's going to browse for books on mushrooms.
Okay. Make me an investigation check. The DC won't be too high. We're going to say 12 because it's something that would be in a rather specific section. It isn't like a vague concept. Yeah, make me an investigation. You absolutely managed to find several books. Some are from the perspective of the different use of fungi as like spell and spell components. Another one is about the uses of fungi and mushrooms in potion brewing. Some are just very mundane, like encyclopedia, like nature journal type books on just where certain mushrooms grow and the physiology is the right word, but the anatomy of mushrooms and how they grow and spread. And there's another one that relates more to like the Fey aspect of mushrooms, like the connection between like, you know, these toadstool circles and their link to the Fey wild and in some way, and how some mushrooms were actually creatures that look like mushrooms. With that roll, now I'll let you decide if you want to share this or not, or if it's something you managed to read. You do manage to find several references in a couple of books to dangerous fungi that have been reported to corrupt and mentally enslave people who breathe in their spores, turning them into a sort of will-less zombie type creature.
I will not be sharing that information. I'll take one of the one book on the Fae, and the one about potions.
Okay, are you attempting to sneaky these, or are you just taking them?
I would probably openly take the one about potions and try to kind of sneak the other one.
Make me a sleight of hand for that one, then. Is anybody's passive perception more than 15? Sorry, 15 or higher, rather.
Mine is 15 exactly.
Tim's is higher than 15. 16, actually.
The two of you just noticed the very last moment of, you know, the corner of a as she openly pockets one book into her satchel, you just notice a slightly different coloured, you know, book cover behind it being sort of slipped into the bag, and you know that she has said she's taking one book but has actually taken two.
Tim is more focused on the contract that he's now in, which is fun, and not at all terror-inducing. And he is going to let that second book fade into the back of his mind. After all, who wouldn't grab more than one book? He knows Volley does it all the time.
Volley sees Riley grabbing the book, and then, as they're thinking about saying something, they catch their reflection in this glass house they're in and decide not to throw any stones. And just makes a point of not noticing Riley taking the book.
You all hear a loud explosion. At first you think it's thunder. Well, it's been happening outside off and on, but you quickly realise that there was a slight tremor in the tower, and it sounded like it came from up the stairs next to you. And a moment later, you do all hear...
What the
Is that a
Troll in
mushroom?
the dungeon!
Oh, maybe that's a mushroom.
Guys, maybe we
Mushrooms
should...
don't make those sounds.
Should we go to Scholar Zio or someone for help? What was that?
Adventure! Let's go! And
No,
Riley's gonna head down the stairs.
Wait, oh...
Riley is right behind him.
Come on, Tim.
Seeing everyone go ahead of him, Tim is very reluctantly going to swallow and then shakily step after.
Okay. As you rush up the stairs, you hear panicked shouts that you recognise as being Duvald, who you know was going to his conjuring practice, his conjuring lesson, and you rush up the stairs into what you recognise as being one of like the study areas, one of the classrooms where lessons take place. but it does not look how you recognize it. It actually looks like this. Dark, impossibly black pools are all over the floor, and it's very venom symbiote from walls and ceiling, just this absolute tangle. A large purple summoning circle glowing in the centre, and a stricken looking Duvald, as up on the upper platform, looming out of one of these pools of pitch black, light consuming fluids, towers this. A large, swirling liquid mass in a somewhat humanoid shape. And Duvald just sees it. I don't know what happened. It went wrong. I don't know what it did.
It looks like you've conjured a big problem, Duvald. That's not time for jokes. Uh-oh.
This is not the... Yeah, no, what do we do? God,
he steps back as the creature roars once again. And can everyone please roll initiative?
Yes!
That's so cool!
Oh, I accidentally clicked roll on somebody else there, sorry.
Oh, mine. Wait, why can I roll again? Ah, mine is gone.
Okay. First up, don't know why it's onto back to them. We head back to the start. First up, we have Riley.
Holy shit.
You can do it, Riley. I'll be right behind you.
So yeah, it's Riley now, then Precious, then Varley. What's going to be, Riley?
Oh, I think that Riley will take a step here. Oh my god. Something happened here.
What? Oh, it's out the window. Yeah, out the window.
That.
Out the window. You looking out the window?
No, I don't look out of the window. I'm just looking at, like, there's like a faded picture of Riley here.
Oh, that's until you finish your turn. It shows where you started your movement, just so you in case you get lost. Yeah, you haven't like split yourself into like a shadow form.
Okay. I was afraid. All right. So I'm going to concentrate, and I'm gonna cast Ice Knife at this, whatever this is.
Okay.
Going into action using one side point.
Does your side point just grant an extra die of damage?
No, it's just a use as like a spell slot.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely hits.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it needs to make a save.
Oof.
Still, the ice cuts through it, and you see just flecks of this dark, inky void just splash out on land on surfaces for a moment. It's about 20 foot up, by the way, up this platform from where you all are. This is a raised platform. Anything else from Riley?
I think she would just shout, "What did you do?" And that would be it.
Okay. Precious, it's you. Volley, you're next.
Gotcha.
Oh, sorry, muted. She's going to move until she can see it. And suddenly, aware of the danger and very aware of poor Apprentice Duval's danger, she is going to drop her singing voice really low and sing, "Conjured you were, only to meet your end." And with that, she's gonna use her unsettling words feature. And I think that's so I can use my bardic bite to let's try that again, folks. My bardic inspiration to reduce the DC he needs to make, and I am going to cast Fairy Fire. So he needs to make a Dex save.
And he makes it with what? A minus.
I need to roll I think my bardic inspiration is a D6, but hold on.
Well, do you want me to? Yeah, you can roll it now, or I can just put minus 1d6 on the deck saving throw it makes if you want.
Oh yeah, that would be great actually. So
Yeah.
let me just put this on the.
So let me make the deck saving throw, and it is minus 1. Oh, it's gonna. Silly me. Yeah, you've put it on me already. So let's have a look. Saving throw, minus 1d6. Absolutely.
I read this.
It fails.
I read
Well,
this.
you know.
And this, it looks so surreal because it's just black and it is like light consuming this. But now what color is your fairy fire?
The Fairy Fire are basically tendrils of dark purple and sort of emerald green smoke that come from her throat and tangle all over its form, almost like binding chains that shine with like internal pulsing light.
Amazing. I forgot to update the conditions list from my main world, so we're going to say that it is radioactive. Oh no, it went for restraint. Radioactive will be the means by which it is fairy fired. But yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't know how to remove the template. I'm really sorry.
That's all right. It should prompt at the end of your turn. If not, I'll manually delete it.
Okay. I'm gonna move back just to not be in the.
Okay. Anything else from you?
No, that's it. Once I figure out how to move.
All right.
So it's Vali.
Vali sees this. It's 20 feet up, so they cannot reach there in that time. But Vali sees Duvald in a bad place. They are going to try and get to help Duvald. They're going to say... They are going to run over here right next to Duvald. And they're going to look at this big inky thing and say, "Hey, over here! Get away, Duvald! You, focus on me! And they, as they run, the water from the pool, which is still not entirely dripped off, is going to start to freeze and coalesce around them as they will cast Armor of Agathis at 2nd level and give myself 10 temp HP. Oops. 10 temp HP. And as they try and provoke it, they are going to spend a key point to do patient defense and dodge as a bonus action.
Nice. Okay.
And they're just going to stand right next to Duvald and wave their hands and say, "Over here! On me! Focus me! Come on, you big dumb thing! Focus on me!"
Okay.
And that is their turn.
Duvald will sort of heeding your words and seeing that you're setting up for something, kind of just runs and tries to get over to everybody else. That's all he's gonna do. The creature leaps up and almost like a pouring upwards. It moves as a pillar and arcs across the room, splashing down and landing in this void puddle here. And it looms up instead next to Varley and is going to strike at them. So it will do so disadvantageously. It is towering enormously over you, Varley.
Alrighty. I'm just looking at a good thing for... well. Can't find something good for disadvantage.
And it misses this huge, it brings its arm down like this tree trunk of just void liquid that just slams down, and you manage to get away, and you see, again, just splashes of this liquid goes everywhere, some of it landing on you, and it feels quite irritant when it does. Tim, it's
close.
Alright, so Tim hasn't seen the creature yet. So he clearly concerned and worried, pokes his head around the corner to witness this absolute inky black monstrosity devouring the room, and with a yelp of fright, almost entirely as a reflex, he casts Toll the Dead upon it, as he very quickly sharps out a toll of necrotic power that whispers from his lips towards the creature. And it needs to make I believe, a wisdom saving throw.
If you cast it on him, it should prompt it once you target him and press damage.
Oh, alright, there we go then. Oh, unfortunate. And Tim, still slightly in shock, is going to scrabble over to the side of the wall and look at Assistant Duvall as he says, what is this? What happened? And that'll be the end of my turn.
I was trying to summon an Almirage. I don't know what went wrong. He has most definitely not summoned an Almirage. Riley, it's you.
It is me. Is it still 20 feet up?
No, it's about 5 feet up now. It's come down. It's moved down the stairs.
Okay. Will that still reach?
What is it you're trying to do? Sorry.
Okay, I think yeah. Just checked the range. So Riley will come closer here and will and you will see that for a second her hair seems to sparkle like with sparks of fire.
Nice.
And she will cast an elemental blast. And I think I will roll manually because this is not set up.
Okay.
Just an attack.
Definitely hits, yeah.
Okay. And it the inky mass will go up in flames as it takes 1d8 fire damage.
Okay. Yeah. It you hit it for 2 fire damage. You see your flame just sort of sink into it and just kind of snuffed out almost immediately, but there's a few moments of just sort of singeing on it, and it looks like, if I didn't do as much as you were perhaps hoping, it definitely did some damage to it.
Okay.
Anything else
I
from
think
Riley?
that would be it for now.
Okay. Precious, you're back up.
Oh, wait, we've got this.
Precious is very much concentrating on fairy fire. So what she would like to do is, thinking that this is a conjuration room and this is an arcane tower, there might be something useful here. Either a a damaging spell scroll or a way to unconjure something into this room. So she's going to use her action as the search action to check around these shelves for anything useful.
Okay, make me a investigation check. As you're sort of like muttering the verbal component of the spell and keeping your mind focused on it as you're sort of just pulling through and searching through the shelves. You find...
kind of looking for like the equivalent of a fire extinguisher, like in an event of like fire, break glass kind of thing.
You do find two things amongst all the mess. You find a spell scroll, and as you sort of try to pull it out quickly and in a rush of what's going on, you sort of fumble a bit and drop it, and you see it lands on top of a small sack of what just seems to be full of, flour or salt or sugar. The spell scroll, I would give you with a quick glance, looks to be, well, let me roll a table.
Oh yeah, random tables.
It's not in the game, unfortunately. Let's have a look. No. That would not be fun. The very first one that it came up with was Disintegrate level 9.
Oh,
I don't think she can cast that.
No.
You can try.
Let's have a look. Oh, it keeps giving me the same thing.
It's a sign.
A spell scroll of Thunderwave. The spell is
this is
Thunderwave.
That's her action. Do I know the range for Thunderwave?
Make me an Arcana check.
Oh god.
I might, because obviously sitting there taking some time to read through it would take a while. So going off your innate knowledge of, you've heard this mentioned before, you would know that the range of it pushes out 15 feet from you when you cast the spell.
God darn it. Alright, okay, is there... there's no way of coming up to this... Is there?
There's no way of what, sorry?
Going up that platform? Like,
Not about going up the step. Not about like flight or some mega climbing or just taking the stairs.
Alright, well, she's going to use her movement and get a bit closer.
Okay.
Is the goop... Can I jump over the goop?
You certainly... Yeah, with your
Strength score?
with your strength, yeah, you could clear that.
I think that's as much as I can go. And that's the end of her turn.
Okay, Vali, it's you.
Vali is going to pivot a bit, get better angle, and they are going to lean back, and they're not going to go for their short sword because they didn't bring it today. They didn't think this was going to be an adventure. They're going to lean back and go for a punch, and you can see that there is a bit of ice around their hand, and as they strike it, they are going to, instead of doing a normal attack, it'll be Breath of the Dragon. And I need this fellow to make me a dex save.
When you press damage, if it's set up properly, it should prompt it from him.
Unfortunate. It takes, let me double check this, half damage.
Yeah, it's already applied it.
And they're going to swing and do a normal punch with an unarmed strike as a bonus action.
Yeah. Very much hits.
That's face. For more damage than the special ability did. Huh. And that's their turn.
Okay. Duvald is panicked.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
one bit of detail I forgot to mention, that is cold damage instead of bludgeoning, as ice sort of wraps around Valley's hand as they punch at this void construct.
Very good to know, thank you. Duvald is in a panicked state, going to take the dodge action.
I could have crit fished.
Yeah, don't forget to roll with advantage, guys.
Whoops.
Do you want to roll again, see if it's a crit?
Sure, I'll just do a quick.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. The creature strikes at you again. This time, striking.
Ignore that, just decrementing usage.
Yep, okay.
Ah. Alright.
That's a very
take-
heavy blow. Strikes you. What does it take?
It will take 10 cold damage as the ice around Valley shatters and cracks, and they stagger backwards. But, whew, Armor of Agath is putting in work. That was,
Oh, that's not right. I just did something unintended there. I think instead of me removing 10 HP, I took him straight down to 10 HP, which was not my intent.
if you'd like to take it down to 10 HP.
It then sinks down rapidly into the void puddle and disappears.
Uh-oh.
And instantly grows out again
Whoa!
in the midst of the others.
Uh-oh.
That is its turn. Tim, it's you. Riley, you're next.
As Tim looks with shock as it appears near him, he glances around, his eyes darting through the corners of the room. How does the creature seem to be reacting to light?
It is moved freely into. Let's have a look. What's Tim's? Yeah, you've noticed it's moved willingly, seemingly, into the brightest area of the room and doesn't seem to be affected by that.
Okay. In that case, then, I am going to attempt to create a silent image around Devald, specifically a wall between him and the creature in an attempt to protect him.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn. Specifically, just a wall stretching around from the edge of the staircase to this corner here.
Okay. Varley, from the puddle next to you.
Oh no. There's two of them.
This one is going to strike at you.
Oh no.
But it misses.
In their shock, Valley sort of stumbles back and falls to the ground. Or falls to the knees, just dodging it.
What did your I realize I accidentally just deleted it. What does your illusion look like? Sorry, Tim.
It looks like a solid brick wall covering the space between Devald, me, and the monster.
So you've locked your companions in a death chamber with an illusion. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Riley, what are you doing?
Riley whips around when this appears, and she kind of as like a automatic defense reaction, her hair sparkles with fire again, and she will cast the blast again, but this time spending 2 side points to amplify it. Do I also get advantage from blast? Full precious. Sorry.
It's an attack, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it is an attack.
Yeah, advantageous. Oh, you're just rolling it again because of the psionic stuff. Yep, so a 19 definitely hits.
Okay. And now it will take 3d8 of fire damage.
Oof. Yeah, that sinks in. It does not seem to be happy with its lot in life at the moment.
So, and I just remembered that for each die of fire damage dealt, the creature takes 1d4 fire damage at the start of its next turn.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. So 3d4.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Very nice. Anything else from you?
That's it. I think that's it.
Okay, Precious, you're up. Valley, you're next.
This is not a nice situation. If she goes here, would that be trigger an attack opportunity?
No.
Okay, so she's going to use her movement to do that. Feet. I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave. I have no idea how to cast this since I don't have it on my spell list. But she's gonna read out the spell slot.
Okay.
Happy to roll it manually as well. He needs to do a dex save, right? Sorry, it's a con save, which is
sorry. Just I misclicked. Let me just sort out a.
Thunderwave is a con save for 2d8.
It's also centered on you. So, Duval just got out, but Riley.
I actually don't think Thunderwave is centered on you. It's a square, and you have the face oriented on you. That's
a wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you. So I read that as being you are the center of the cube.
I'm pretty sure for cubes you have it originating on a face.
How do you mean a face? Sorry. So you think is in you to be at the edge of a cube like that? Do you mean?
Yeah, like that. I'll try and find a rule if you'd like to.
Yeah, just so we know for cube spells going forward.
Yeah, let's see.
Otherwise, she has something else up her sleeve because she wouldn't want Riley catch up on that, and she would know from her arcane roll earlier. I guess maybe not.
No, I'd say that's fair. If she knows the details of how the spell works, I imagine she kind of knows how big it tends to be.
Maybe for this round instead, then whilst Mac is still kind to look at it, I might just strike him with my hair whip.
Matt's popped it in as well. I think go on, Mac.
It's page 204 PHB. You select a cube's point of origin, which lies anywhere on the face of the cube effect.
Cool. Okay, then yeah, you can absolutely capture the creature in that and nobody else. So are you happy for me to put it where I have put it?
Yeah, that's perfect. The idea would be that if it fails, then he would crash against the wall, and I could escape without triggering an opportunity attack.
Okay, yeah. So let me have a look. So Constitution saving throw.
That's right.
Try to remember what the DC is when you do a spell scroll.
Well, I don't know if it's on the spell scroll or if it's mine. I think that's up to you.
Probably yours, but it seems like something a very, very quick Google will handle. Spell save versus scroll DC. Skyrim? Get out of it. The level of the spell on... Oh, of course, yeah, I've known this. The level of a spell. The scroll determines the spell's DC saving throw. It is a first level spell, so I believe... So that is a DC 13. So we need to make a DC 13...
This is not going to work.
Constitution saving throw.
Natural one, natural one, natural one.
What? The power of words made manifest, Chicha.
Really? I can't see the roll.
You know, it's public. Oh, that's weird. That my Curse of Strahd game did that. It's down as a public roll. It got a nat 1.
Did it actually?
I honestly, there we go. 13 seconds ago, screenshotted in the chat.
I am.
It got a nat 1.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
it takes 2d8. So can you see this? Let's have a look. Roll 2d8. Can you see this?
I see 12, yeah.
Must be a mod setting somewhere. So it takes 12 damage, thunder damage, and is pushed 10 feet away. Along with, you hear a enormous deafening boom, like thunder once again. In fact, why not go with... As it is moved 10 foot, slam. You can tell that it would have hit the, it would have like hit its back to the wall, but being so sort of liquid, it spills around. You notice at the edge though. Oh, in fact, let me just check something.
Oh, that's a good sound effect.
Right, this actually changes things. When you knock it back so forcefully, Precious, at the moment where, at the edge of the puddle, when you push it, the force of your spell pushes it beyond the edge of the puddle on the floor, and the second that you can see that it's no longer touching, it's no longer connected to the puddle on the floor, it just falls and splashes inert, and you instantly destroy the creature.
Oh.
Wood.
Oh.
She's a bit dumbfounded at this moment in time. And I don't know if my action economy permits me screaming to Bally that she needs to get... they need to get to the...
Speech is speed, speech is free.
Switch free. Bally, you need to get the thing out of the puddle.
Okay.
It's drawing strength from the puddle.
Also, a strange thing that happened in my Curse of Strahd campaign is happening where, even though I was able, we've used a few spell templates without issue, I'm now not able to, when I switch to the spell template view, all the actors disappear. Let me just hit reload and see if that fixes it, because I went an entire Curse of Strahd session avoiding reloading, and I think I learned afterwards that a quick reload would have actually fixed the problem. Let's have a look. Yeah, it has. Okay, so Precious calls out. Is that all from you?
Yeah.
Next is
that
Vali. Vali, it's you. Tim, you're up in a minute.
Alright. Vali's going to follow that instruction, and they are going to run over here, getting behind it, squeezing against the wall, and they are going to push off against the wall and push against this creature and make a shove attack against it instead. And that will be a normal attack roll. Wait. Oh no, athletics, I'm bad at that. Alright. And I'm going to do a shove. Uh-oh. It can do a strength, or it can make an athletics or acrobatics check.
It just has. Do you see the check come up? It rolls
I
after
do not.
after your 6. Why have some things not showing up? It rolled a 20.
Okay. That nothing will happen, but Valley took the attack action, so as a bonus action they get make one on a strike. Not advantage, and I
You
forgot to target.
you didn't target it. That unfortunately misses.
In the cramped space they can't get a good angle to punch a thing, so they get nothing there.
Okay. Duval continues to take the dodge action. Tim.
Tim looks at Devald and shakingly says, Devald, get out of here. Go. And then he's going to maneuver around, and to anyone watching, it appears as if he's melding through the stone wall that has just appeared behind you. And he looks around, and Tim says, what do we do?
Get it out of the puddle. Move it out of the puddles, and they just melt.
Okay. And Tim is going to target the creature and maneuvering his hands in a circle before thrusting them forward with an arcane force. He's going to cast command on the creature. And the command being move.
Okay, let me just check something. Okay.
Nice.
It fails. For 5. So remind me, is that it has to what?
So with
Or
command...
when, rather.
Sorry, what was that?
Or rather, when does it do this now?
It has to follow the command on its next turn.
Okay. Ah, that's a point. In what language did you make this?
I would have made it. Tim would have made it in common.
Okay. You feel the potency of your words, but you don't get a sense of recognition or comprehension from this creature.
All right, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay.
Whoa.
It sinks down. There are a few tense moments. It rises up and swings out a Precious.
Well,
Oh, but misses.
wows.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Riley, it's you. Oh, sorry. It needs to take... Oh, no, that's a different one, wasn't it? That took the fire up.
Yeah, that was the other one.
Riley, it's you. Precious, you're next.
It's me. Yeah, I think she will attack it again.
Uh, 13 does not hit it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. How do you move this thing?
By pushing it or something.
Hey, that is it.
Okay, Precious, it's you. Volley, you're next.
Yeah.
Did we establish that if the Hairwit has disadvantage at melee range?
It's a melee weapon. No, it would not have disadvantage.
Okay, just because it has reach. Okay, fine. Okay, sorry. I'm just really bad at weapons. So can I attempt to grapple with the hair?
That is not something we've implemented into it.
Okay.
Maybe a higher level.
That sounds cool. All right. What do I do? I don't want to be around it.
You could try a shove attack, I suppose. Again, didn't work for me.
I don't have a lot of strength, but
What's it gonna be?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna whip it with my hair. Just hope it doesn't attack me again.
Okay. Oh!
Yeah.
Nice.
Remember to click critical.
Whee!
Nice. Yeah, the hair whips across it, and where it strikes, you just see it cleaves the liquid open for a second, and then it's very, very slow to close back over. And you just see this faint sort of purple glow at the edge of it. And for a second, Riley and Precious, just as it closes up, where the whip hit, you feel like you almost see spiders scuttling for a moment in its depths before they're consumed by the liquid closing back over.
Oh, nice.
Anything else from Precious?
Panic. No. She doesn't want to get up attack. So no.
Okay. The age of a Precious is over. Now is the time of the volley.
All right. One quick question before I go too much further here. Does this thing appear to actually be taking damage, or does it seem to be regenerating it in some way? Does it?
It definitely see. I mean, before the before Precious obliterated the one before, you definitely saw that as they were taking bits of damage, parts of their liquid form was like slaking off onto the floor and wasn't being reconstituted. Maybe they were like sort of shrinking and diminishing. They've definitely been taking damage.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm just wondering because...
My God, I wouldn't leave us in like a 6-hour combat. Guys, I don't think he's gonna die.
All right. Valley's going to run over here, and they are going to... As they run, you see some moisture in the air form ice around their fists as they are going to do 2 unarmed strikes on it. One is an action, one is a bonus action. And this will be cold damage again.
Is your unarmed attack always cold damage, or is it your choice?
It's my choice. I can choose to make it a few different types, but...
Oh, really? A few?
Does it appear to be resisting the damage?
It does not.
Okay.
I would recommend at some point when we have time just setting up different type versions of it, just so you don't have to specify and you can just be chucking hands of all sorts of colours and...
Sounds good. And they're going to follow up with a second unarmed strike.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately,
it misses.
As they get up close and personal and say, hey, over here. And that's your turn.
Okay. Duvald steps forward, seeming like he's committing to an attack, but then reconsiders and slinks back and takes a dodge action. Tim, it's you.
All right, so Tim is very wary of the whole situation. His eyes are darting back and forth between different edges of the room, wondering in the back of his mind if more creatures might appear from the darkness. But for a moment, he takes a halted breath and seems to gain control over his mind as he looks towards the creature and is going to cast Bane upon it.
The fire rises.
Fire rises. Oh, that was a really good Bane impression.
And it should be making...
Yeah, you didn't have a target, I don't think. What do you need to make?
Just one moment. It is a charisma save.
DC. Oh, DC might not matter. Let's have a look.
DC is 14.
I'm afraid it makes it with a 15, even though it has a -3 to its charisma.
Right, then Tim is going to scrabble to the corner of the room, and that'll be the end of his turn.
Would like to remind you about 1d4 fire damage from my attack.
Yeah, how many dice did you roll on this one, sorry, last time?
Just one.
So straight away, at the start of a turn, roll 1d4. It immediately takes 1 point of fire damage. And as it does sort of smoulder away, it looks down, or it leans down towards you this time. and will swing its inky appendage. Missing. It is not having a good time, this thing. And then it will and appears back 20 foot up on the platform. Riley, it's you.
Okay. Right. So, Riley will turn and she will cast Elemental Blast again, but this time she closes her eyes and kind of grunts with the force, and she only rolls 1d20, which is risky. And she fails.
So that'd be
But
attack
the
roll as a 4, is it?
The damage would be
So it'd be attack
bigger,
roll a 4.
unfortunately. Yes.
Yeah, so unfortunately just misses.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else from Riley?
And that's it, I'm afraid.
Precious. Vali, you're next.
I'm glad that it's not close, but I think it can still hit it with my hair, so I'm going to try.
It is too high. The range on your hair is 15 feet. It is 20 feet away.
God darn it. Okay. To the library.
Pardon?
To the library, and I can't move because my foundry's frozen, but I'm going to move to the library and use search again and see if I can find something like magic missile or something like that.
Okay. I thought you meant like leaving to go to the library floor. Like, well, we've had enough of this. Let's leave.
As I pass Apprentice Deval, I'm gonna tell him, make yourself useful. There might be something in this library, just check. There's spell scrolls everywhere.
And he just like panics and then nods.
Search. What do you do?
Ooh.
You find another spell scroll. This one is Scorching Ray.
Fabulous. That's the end of her turn.
Vali, it's you.
Alright. This thing's up high. Vali can't get to it in time. Can Vali see this platform at all, like the ground?
Yes.
Awesome.
You see the edge of
Vali
it.
is going to start running. They're going to take one step, and then they are going to dissolve into mist and vanish. And then reappear up on the platform thanks to one casting of Misty Step. Thanks to that little thing, and now that was their bonus action, they're going to try an unarmed strike and try and shove this thing off the platform with
Hold
an
on a
athletic.
second. Why
Yep.
didn't that should have been much cooler for you. I will have to look into something there. But yeah, sorry, go on. You have gone on when you tried to shove attack it off.
Yep, they reform in a little burst of cold air, and they're going to do another athletics check to try and shove it off. Come on, give me a better roll this time.
Oh. Okay, here we go. It has rolled. It matches you with an 18. But
wait.
doesn't that work because you're making the attack?
I believe so.
Shove attack
Because it's based on whoever's making it. So if they're making a save, it would be them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Should attack
I guess-
tie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, a tie means nothing changes and favors the defender.
Oh.
Let's take a moment to look this up because this changes.
Let me see. Shove meet it to beat it. I'm pretty sure.
To me, his attack is effectively an 18, and the elemental's defensive roll is an 18, which is equal to or higher the DC of the shove, so they save against it.
Okay, yep. So unfortunately that does not work. Yeah. Ah, darn. Got a good roll.
Anything else from you?
Nope. Unfortunately, that's my full turn. Ah, that would have been cool. Wait, could I use inspiration to make it re-roll that athletics check?
Absolutely, we can.
Sure, I'll spend my inspiration.
Okay, I'm rolling it again. It needs to get 18. Well, it needs to get below 18, and it comes out with. It rolled an 18 map time for a 21.
Oh,
inspiration continues to be useless for my characters. Alright, well,
Okay.
I tried.
Apprentice Duval will dart over to the shelf and make an investigation search.
He is so useless. He's so useless.
Do you say this out loud? Next to him.
No, that's just Gija. That's just Gija. Precious is a kind and loving person.
He finds a rubber duck.
Amazing.
Tim, it's you.
All right. Tim is going to move his hands in a triangular pattern as he casts Toll the Dead once more, a subtle chime ringing in each of your ears as he does so.
He is injured though,
Fails.
so I think you can roll a d12.
Yeah, d12 damage down it. And yet it fails.
Nice. And that will be... same number.
Oh.
4.
Okay, yeah. Doesn't look too good.
And that's the end of my turn.
The creature.
I can't believe it did the thing that it did every turn before.
Comes up. This time, it lashes out a surprising distance. Tries to strike Precious,
Darn it.
who is working away at the bookshelf and just seems to have picked up some sort of scroll, and it will attempt to strike her. And hits. You all see, as it finally lands a blow, these tendrils of black liquid quickly whip and wrap around Precious. First, it will do its damage to her. And then you see it wraps around and grapples her, and she is wrenched away from the bookshelf and is dragged towards it. She is restrained.
Whoop.
Riley, it's you.
Okay. Riley will move up here. Although maybe it's better here.
If you're doing that, you have to duck underneath this big web that is is stretched out and wrapped around Precious. You
Yes.
just whoop, just awkwardly step around it.
Yeah, well, ignoring that, she will cast Thunderwave.
Oh, she just knows it, does she?
Yeah, she does.
In which direction are you pushing it?
Here,
Okay.
like out of the. I hope that counts.
It's 10 foot. Yeah, 10 foot. That's fine.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh wow, everything disappeared suddenly.
Oh, you need to reload. It's there's a weird bug sometimes when you click onto like the template level, the measurement controls level, everything disappears. But I mean, the 15-foot cube, it's definitely in it. We can just make it manually do the save if you want. So the thunder strike goes off.
Okay.
The thunder wave.
Did you get the roll?
I
not?
did not get any roll come up, but I can make it do a Constitution saving throw. So it's con save. What's the DC? You'll see on your spellcasting tab.
I will see it in just a
Oh,
second.
it got a 6. There's no way it's lower than 6, is it?
No, it's not.
So roll the
It's
damage.
13.
We'll do the damage before we move it.
Okay. Damage. Oh my god. Need to target it. What? It won't let me.
That's okay.
There's an error.
That's okay. What does it say in the spell? What does it say the damage is?
Damage is 2d8. Okay.
So, oof. Big damage. It does not look happy. And then, as you push it back 10 foot and it leaves the puddle, it too immediately just collapses down to the floor.
What happens to Precious though?
She's just, oh yeah, well, so she would be wrenched 10 foot with it, I guess. But she just ends up being 10 foot in that direction as well, I suppose, which is fine. But she's not restrained. And over the course of a few seconds, I don't have another version of the map to reflect this because the map cartographer is terrible and lazy. The void just sort of like sinks back into the floor over the course of a few seconds and fades away until the room looks normal again.
Okay. Whew.
Wow.
There we go. Not even close. See, everything turned out all right.
Oh my god, this was awful.
Here I was wondering when we will get another adventure.
I wasn't.
I was.
Riley, you're amazing. How, like, you set it on fire, you pushed it, how are you doing that?
Well, I mean, it just happens, you know? I mean, it's complicated.
I mean, you mentioned someone named Laura before. Was she the one who taught you that?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's quite a long story. Should we, I don't know, pick us ourselves first, or like?
I mean, everything's just fine here. I think. Are you okay, Duval?
Duvold? Yeah.
I'm fine. It's just I don't know what I read wrong. It was meant to be an Almirage. I'm terrible at this. I'm so bad at this.
I mean, it's fine. Everything's alright. I mean, yeah, Precious is a bit hurt and I've got a bit of a bruise, but like, could be worse. I mean, you weren't
Mistakes
the one.
happen.
You weren't the one trying to push that giant thing when you only do runs. I've been skipping arm day and the Valley flexes their arm, but there's not much. They don't look like someone who does too many arm workouts. Yeah, Precious. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Riley. I've never seen magic like that. I mean, it looked like normal magic, but Tim uses that little focus, and I've seen the other instructors use wands and stuff. But you just sort of did it?
It was really amazing.
It's kind of like this whole thing that with my meditations, because Laura taught me how to meditate when I was a child, she was my teacher and basically my caretaker. And I spent almost my entire life with her. And she kind of taught me how to be mindful of energies around. And one day I just kind of like had an epiphany about it all. Like I could see these lines, like a network of lines of energy that connect everything. You know, they're like affecting one another, kind of like weavings and patterns on a sweater would. It's really cool to look at, but it's hard to explain it, you know?
I've heard of things similar before. It's sort of like the weave, but it sounds different somehow.
Really interesting.
Yeah,
So,
and just the more connected I am with all of this through the meditations, the more I can interact with it, and it just manifests in different ways.
Is that something that your family can do? Like the way I got mine from my aunties?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't really know my family. I mean, I
wait a
hope
minute.
they're there somewhere, but I wouldn't know really.
That's cool. I mean, is that something anyone can do? Like, could Duvald start meditating, or could I start meditating? Or
Well, I mean,
maybe Tim.
you could try. It did take me like 20 years. No, less.
I mean, well,
But like it took a long time.
maybe you could help Tim meditate, and maybe his mindfulness will be, a bit. He won't be as worried about mushrooms.
Yes, I think Tim should start meditating just for the peace of his mind. It helps.
Is that a sigh of resignation, Tim? Are you?
Tim just gives another long, drawn-out sigh as he's wringing dark, inky goo from between his lobes. I think we should probably tell Scholar Zio or someone about what happened here.
Oh yeah, right. We should probably do that.
Probably actually a good point. We should. No. Yeah, that might be something you'd want to know about.
Oh, gods.
I mean, it's probably fine. Probably.
So,
I mean,
Zio informed Duvald is reprimanded. Not too severely, but, he's tasked with tidying the room and doing a lengthy write-up on where and why his spell went wrong, and is tasked with listing 65 reasons that it was about, the mistakes he made, and 65 ways he can avoid repeating these mistakes in the future. He does receive a fair amount of homework based on this. It's early afternoon at that point. You spend the rest of the day catching up, maybe studying, eating, and evening rolls around. I'll take you back to your dorms. Starting to get dark. A few people have turned in for the night.
would we have had a short rest over that time?
Yes,
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
a short one. Just realised that Precious' token changes on particular scenes that she never leaves. I need to do a blanket
Yes,
pass
please.
over her scenes. All the scenes that she's in.
Darn it. Okay, just roll one. Oh, you know what? It never took away my temp HP. Oh, never mind.
I mean,
If we rest, I assume we're having dinner
Yeah.
somewhere. Precious is going to bring out this book that she's been reading, and she's going to say, "Right, you guys. I think I should give this book back. But I really want to finish it. But I'm a bit scared of it."
I mean, it's just a book. How bad could it be? Actually, wait.
If you're really
It's just a
concerned
book.
about it, then of course we're here for you. We can help read and be here for you while you read it.
Well, I had an idea, and she looks at Riley because Riley is her companion in Misadventures and maybe sneaking out. How do we feel about taking some snacks and maybe some juice or some teas, sneaking into the Ars Arcanum once more, and reading it there? Like, the atmosphere might be amazing there.
I mean, we could go to where I keep some of my books if you want to see that, like, I'm totally reading them. I'm genuinely reading the books lost. I mean,
Yeah,
we might get in trouble if we're in the Ars Arcanum when we shouldn't be, you know?
no, I think that sounds great. I'd love to check out your secret place. And as long as we can create a bit of a spooky atmosphere, I think it'd be really fun.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. Sounds like a plan. One moment, I'm just reloading because it does not seem like I'm on the Apprentice Dorms.
Oh, I also have a dark screen.
Yeah, I also have a dark stream.
That's weird. Yeah, you all show us still being in study chamber in terms of map. Let me just force change a map to something else, and then I'll force change it once more once I see everybody's on it. So G just still shows being in study chamber. Everybody else is back in the spa for me. Gigi might want to hit F5. Oh, no, she's back in.
Way ahead of you.
And then I will now reload the dorms once more, and you should all be pulled to the dorms.
Yeah, excellent.
Where
I
it's
do
darker.
not own any token with vision on this scene, apparently.
Let me re-add you.
Oh, now works.
Excellent.
But I do not see anyone else.
You need to reload, man. Oh yeah, you don't... That's weird, actually.
So, this book, is it... Where'd you find it? If it's, like, all these weird, scary stories and stuff.
Oh, I found it in at Demiplane where we saved Professor Zio. Just
Ooh.
as we left, I just thought, this whole thing is gonna disappear, so I might as well just save some books, And most of them I gave back, but just this one, it was just quite compelling, and it really gets to you,
Okay, cool. I mean, as a pretty smart thing, I suppose I just sort of went for soup there. I mean, the soup's very good, but at the time I was thinking of other stuff. Anime, all as well.
All will be well.
All will be well.
I think I gravitated towards it because it's fiction rather than we most of the things we read are academic or historical, and I find this one really creative and different.
I mean, I really love fiction too. All these stories of heroes and great journeys and fantastic adventures, and people doing awesome stuff. So, I'd be happy to read it too.
Why don't we do that? Actually, we can make it a bit of a performance. We'll go to your secret room, and I'll sing it out to you guys. I think it's written in poem, so we can do it like we did it earlier in the pool. I can maybe manifest some illustrations and put on a show.
Sure.
Oh,
Sure.
wow. Yeah, let's do that.
Sounds good.
Riley's gonna hold up a finger to their lips and just say, "Shh, supposed to know about this place." And they're going to creep silently down the hallway. Look both ways. And then they're going to open the door to the washroom. And they're going to pull, when they realize it's locked, and then they're going to pull a key out of their satchel and unlock it.
Well, that's a bit weird, but okay, I guess.
And then
I
they're
don't know
going
if
to-
it will all fit.
Oh, don't worry. And then they're going to press against this wall on the bottom here.
What?
Oh my god.
It's a bit cramped, but I think there might be enough space for all of us.
That's
Valley,
so
this is
cool.
amazing.
Have we lost Tim, out of curiosity?
Honestly, I just loaded back onto the page.
Ah, okay.
Tim's being left behind for this adventure. Sorry, Tim.
No, Tim, over here, over here.
Oh, wait, sorry, I was late. What's happening?
Look at this. It's so cool.
And the walls here are absolutely stacked with a bunch of books and scrolls and other assorted things. Which
Must be
I promise
a
Kai's gonna read.
pretty long reading list.
I'll get through it eventually. Eventually.
Hmm?
Promise.
Gosh, I can't imagine reading all of these books.
I can. But I've got one right now.
How did you get a key to this place?
You know, it just sort of, falls into your lap, kind of, sort of. I mean,
Did you steal this, Valley? She's smiling, not accusing. Kind
I
of.
would-
You think she'd be proud if you did, in a way.
I would never steal something because that implies I won't give it back. I mean, it's just a place to store books, like my own personal little library.
Wait, stealing implies giving it back?
Let me rephrase it. I would never steal something, but I would borrow something with every intention of giving it back.
Oh, okay.
But it's sort of my own personal little library.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, well, Precious, you've got the book. Why don't you fill us in? What's the story?
Okay, well, this is like I think it's a short book of stories, really. They're all very different. This one is written in poem form. Make yourself comfortable, you guys. And I want you to try really hard when you hear the words. Just do what Riley did in a way, and kind of picture, and then you should start seeing some of the little animations in the air.
Picturing.
Okay, so once you're all comfortable, she's gonna stand up, and her hair is going to kind of like move away from her face, and kind of like pull slightly back, kind of, if someone was holding it back. And she takes a deep breath and says, "This is called Shem Shine's bedtime rhyme." And she starts to sing, and please use your imaginations to hear a much nicer voice than the one you're going to hear. See a mother sighing wheat, forgotten husband sleeping near. With one swing, she took his feet, with another took his ear, and a ear just falls onto the ground and it bleeds a little bit. Does the shadow have a name? Shem shine, Causes griefs, avoids the blame. Shem, shine, shem, shine. See a dog that knows how to heal. Never heeds plea nor command.
The lights start to go a bit quicker, pulsing weaker on the wall. Varley's little magic lamp.
Mother gave a tasty meal. Dog chose instead to eat her hand. And her hand just kind of like falls down. Disembodied hand. Does the shadow have a name? Shem, shine, shem, shine. Causes grief, avoids the blame. Shem, shine, shem, shine. See a son doing his chore, washing clothes for folk in town. Fell into the river's roar, sunk to the bottom, and he drowned.
And you see around the room just dark little red fireflies sort of manifesting out of nowhere. Perhaps part of Precious's illusion. Precious, you notice these as well. You just wonder if one of the others has conjured something up. But the room is just filled with slowly drifting dark fireflies.
Does the shadow have a name? Shem, shine. Causes grief, avoids the blame. Shem, shine.
And there's silence for a moment. And then you all, for a moment, over near the doorway where you came in, two of the fireflies hover still for a second and then grow a little bit. And as you look over, you all see a figure stood there, tall, 8-9 feet, just looking over at you all, staring at you all, and then everything goes black. And that's where we're going
Does
to end
Riley
the
have
session.
time to scream?
Yes,
He
you
will
have
scream.
time. You do have time to scream, and then just everything for all of you. You feel this horrible sensation of being just tugged down, and all the fireflies just sputter out, and you are all in complete black. And that's where we're going to end today. After that excellent contribution by Gija.
That is the
Holy
scariest thing I've
shit!
ever done.
Oh, that was great scene.
Tim's scream
That was
is
so
the highest
cool.
pitched of them all. And that was, I don't know what you were saying with something better. That was actually really wonderful singing. It was awesome.
It really captured that whole, like,
I loved it.
very cool. It really got that whole, like, weird nursery rhyme vibe going.
I got this like 5 minutes ago from Harrison. I'm like, this is creepy. How do you? He's like, oh, you can do it in a sing song, and I'm like, okay, sure. And then I see it as like, okay, this is like really dark.
That's the spirit.
So, next session, there will be no rest. You are straight into the adventure.
Ooh.
And you will
yeah.
receive
Oh, yeah.
so you don't level up this time. Next session you will be straight into it. I really enjoyed this, given I thought, right, I'll sort out the some sort of encounter in one of the different Candlekeep rooms I have from the Mad Cartographer that we could have utilised. But everything else, I mean, you only ended up in the spa because I misclicked. But we got some
Really?
we got fantastic stuff out of that.
Oh,
So
nice.
yes, I knew a downtime session wouldn't be bad with this group based on what we've done so far, but I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for being interested and invested enough to want to do what was effectively a shopping session for most groups, I guess.
Nah.
Thank you for wanting to run it. It was very fun.
Thank you, Harrison.
And I do have my
thank
Scorching
you.
Ray scroll, I hope.
You do have a scroll of Scorching
Woo!
Ray. Yeah, good point. Forgot
Actual
about
shopping trip.
Nice.
Shopping trip, guys.
Well,
Thank you for
we
running this
will.
session.
No, thank you all for turning up for it,
Yes.
and we will talk in Discord about when the next one's going to be. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
yeah, thanks everybody.
And
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you, Dija and Nikki and Nock, for having those fun backstories too. It's great to hear about the characters.
Yes, we're missing one though. We'll get to it.
Would you believe we had 87 viewers tonight at our peak?
No.
Wow.
What?
Damn.
What?
Like at the end?
No, I'm just lying. I just asked if you would believe me.
Damn.
That's awesome.
No, we didn't. I was lying. So I said, would you believe
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah. I was like, that's
Oh.
insane. That's like really not a
Would you
thing.
believe it? I don't believe anything you say anymore, Harrison.
I mean, he's beginning to believe. He's learning.
Beginning to
Very good.
believe.
I think the
I thought-
most viewers I've ever had is I think when I did the Foundry stream on the Curse of Strahd channel, I feel like that had 60-ish people, I think.
Wow.
I think.
How about that?
But there we go. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, everybody. And I'm sure we'll talk on Discord immediately. But excellent work, everybody. Particularly thankful to Gija for just pulling that. I didn't want to send it too early because I didn't want you to overthink it when you're about to read it for the first time. So I thought, no, I'll send it to you as close to it as I can. And to just get immediately before she read it, just what the fuck, Harrison? What is this?
I know, because you said like Candlekeep was this like, fun adventure thing, and I'm like, this is like super creepy.
This is the one where a lot of people are just like, bro, what the fuck? this is horrendous.
I guess,
Can you actually post a full rhyme?
I will. I'll post it in my Discord now.
Yeah.
Nice.
But okay.
I did kind of add some other shimshons just to kind of make the tune work, except for the last one, because I just
I
thought
love
that was
how
like...
if we die next session, it is officially Precious's fault.
And I also love that if you do die next session, presumably no one will ever find your bodies for a long time.
Yeah.
Hey.
Because you're just tucked away in like the wall cavity.
Yeah, how to get Precious to never read a book ever again.
Right, well,
That's
I'll end the
okay,
stream
reading's for
there.
nerds.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Catch you all later.